shot that in one scene.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely inconvenience. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Small Zero Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wyatt. Thank you for joining us today. We got a lot to cover for the CinemaCon panel. We're going to be covering from the Paramount, Universal, MGM, Sony, and Warner Brothers and Disney. We got like a big hitters like the Avengers Doomsday trailer that dropped at CinemaCon, and we had like a couple of wins with WB and MGM and mostly it's crazy. But anyway, joining me for my co-host, I wanted to give it to Ryan Cam. How are you doing, buddy?
Who's going to tell Matt that he's muted? It certainly won't be me.
Am I muted? But anyway, joining me as my another co-host, 3D Jake. How are you doing, bud?
By the way, Matt, I can hear you. Ryan, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I was like, am I being gaslighted or something?
At first, I was like, I can hear him.
Yeah, but anyway, we have a special guest on our show. He's a good friend of ours. He's a director who directed a lot of short movies. We got Blacktastic Media. How do you doing, bud?
TJ.
You can't hear us?
You can't hear us? Wow.
Wow, that's weird.
Ryan can't hear us either.
I feel like you're the only one who can hear me.
I can hear you. Oh, wow. But, all right, hold on. Let's see. It's always great when you start out. It's always great when you start out with glitches. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Can you guys hear us?
No.
You can't hear us? Not at all? Not really?
Hold on. Hey, exit out and come back in.
Yeah, exit. Yeah, exit out and come back in.
I'll text it. I'll put it in the chat. See if that helps. All right. Yeah, which we can always edit that out. We can always edit post. Which or leave it in. I think it's funny to leave it in.
How about now? Can you hear us now?
That's more like it.
Okay, but anyway, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? You can hear us?
Yes.
Sorry for the technical glitch in case you didn't realize that, because these two cannot hear us. But anyway, I'm so excited to get into the CinemaCon and starting off with Paramount. But first off, we're going to be starting off with the Paramount panel, and we're going to be talking about the David Ellison of tripling down the theatrical for the theatrical run at CinemaCon for like the 45-day window release.
We forgot one thing: weekend box office. I didn't forget.
Well, we don't really need to cover that because CinemaCon is what I mean. CinemaCon is the big. It was just the one we were covering because we got a lot to cover. So I don't think box office is really.
Plus, it's Mario again, anyway.
Yeah, you're not really missing anything.
Let's not bury the lead on that one.
All right. We're doing the Sony panel, right? Or is it?
No, we're doing the Paramount panel first.
Everyone's favorite studio.
The first thing he does is come out and lie his ass off about 45-day window. The first thing he does is like, we're buying Warner Brothers and we're doing the 45-day window. And I'm like, bull fucking shit.
I'm surprised his nose didn't grow like Pinocchio or something.
Yeah, he's a salesman.
Well, that's what they do. They sell the shit out of it. Okay, well, at Paramount, we've already demonstrated since launching the new company just 8 months ago, our ability to increase output with 15 films currently dated for 2026, up for 8 in 2025, said Ellison. We want to tell even more great stories on the big screen, stories that make people think, laugh, dream, wonder, and feel bullshit, and we want to share them with as a broad and an audience as possible. A stunning short film celebrating Paramount Pictures past, present, and future, directed by new Paramount talented John M. Chu, preceded Ellison's remarks. The short was narrated by Tom Cruise and featured a dizzying array of stars and filmmakers, including Timothy Chalamet, Tanya Taylor, Mark Wahlberg, Margaret Qualley, and Colin Turner, Will Smith, Molly Ringwald, Travis Scott, John Krasinski, Isa Ray, and the Duffer Brothers.
Issa Rae.
Sorry if I'm butchering the name. Yeah, but anyway, what did you really think about this whole thing about him talking about the stake into the 45-day theatrical window, which he kind of contradicted that with Scary Movie 6 and Jackass number 6? Starting with you, Jake.
No, let the other guys have the panel. Come back to me because
okay, fair enough. How about you, Ryan?
Somebody play the Ron White bullshit clip. I need to see it.
Hold on.
Bullshit.
I think that pretty much sums my thoughts up right there. But at the end of the day, I'll keep this one short. It really all comes down to execution, because he can talk and talk and talk all he wants. At the end of the day, it's all about the execution. I don't think he has the gas, but if he does, I will be surprised. But my hopes are not high.
TJ, how about you?
He sounds like your typical politician, trying to get votes to get into office, and he's lying through his teeth. And seeing's believing. People are not stupid. You can say whatever you want to say until we see something on screen, a slate of movies that we want to see. Hey, man, Paramount's been just shitting the bed for a long time, and this is not making it any better. It's unfortunate, but I don't believe a word he says. Seeing is believing.
How about you, Jake?
Okay, so my feelings are known. I think he is a fucking lying piece of shit, because he literally, remember how he says 45-day window when Scream 7, which did really well over the, it is their highest grossing movie this year so far, Scream 7. That movie came out under the 45-day window and is already out on streaming. Yet, and Primate, also a movie of theirs, came out before the 45-day window, and yet you want us to entrust you when two of your movies, and one of your movie was the highest grossing movie so far, came out under that window, and I'm like, I'm supposed to trust you? And then on top of that, you're going to be like, because you know why he's doing all this, trying to save face? Because Monday they vote for if Paramount should buy Warner Brothers, so he's trying to go, glug, okay, come on, yeah, come on, let's go, come on, guys. Give me, I'm trying to really love you guys. I love you guys so much. I'm going to make sure 45-day window, guys.
Since you mention it.
What? Oh my God.
That sums it up.
That's basically what he's doing.
I love that.
You have
in
to
the
understand
rotation now.
The two movies that came out were both horror movies. They have a short lifespan in theaters, horror movies. So, Primate, and that other Scream, whatever it was.
Scream 7.
After 2 weeks, they're dead in the water. They have to go to digital because to recuperate some of that money.
Yeah, but Scream 7's been was still making money when they did that.
Right now, it's over 200 million worldwide, and now it's even when it came out on digital release on VOD. And yeah, Ellison, I just don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. I completely agree with most of you guys are saying that he's just telling people what they want to hear. And I still don't really believe that they're going to get Warner Brothers. They're in a bit of a shit
Monday.
Right now.
We'll find out Monday, because if they vote yes, then yeah, they're going to get it. If they vote no, then they're going to.
It all depends. Yeah, that's true.
Because it's basically if they vote no, then what they'll do is they'll go back to the board and say, "Hey, let's vote again." And then if they vote no again, then I think they're going to go and try to do a hostile takeover vote. And so we'll see if that works. But yeah, before we drop to the movies, I just want to say one last thing. I truly my issue with this is and you see all the talents backing him, like Tom Cruise, Jerry Bruckheimer, and a lot John Jim Chu and all these other celebrities. All right, he's going to do a good job. Which, I mean, to be fair, a lot of people that worked with him under his banner have said he's a great person to deal with. But the thing is, though, we see he played a dirty game to get Warner Brothers. So that's my issue with him, is that you threaten these people, you harass them, you went over their heads to the shareholders, and then you got like a bunch of your allies in the MAGA movement to buy a bunch of stock to basically force them to revote. So yeah, that's where it pisses me off, where it's like the fact that you went and played that dirty of a hand, what makes me, how can I trust somebody that's willing to stab you in the back to achieve their goal? That's what I have an issue with.
Yeah, that sums it up. But anyway, what did you think about this whole news about David Ellison sticking to the 45-day theatrical window? Do you believe that he's full of shit and you agree with us, or do you simply believe what he's saying? Even I don't know why, but jump down in the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. Next up, we're going to get into another Paramount movie that they just recently announced on the panel. Top Gun 3 has been officially in the works, with Tom Cruise returning for the role. Tom Cruise is returning for Top Gun 3. Paramount announced during its CinemaCon presentation in Las Vegas, and as its producer, Jerry Bruckheimer, which you may have known he worked on a lot as a studio for the original Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick. The sequel director, Joseph Kosinski's 2022's blockbuster Top Gun Maverick was first revealed to be in the works back in 2024, and scribe Aaron Kruger, who co-wrote Maverick with Eric Warren Singer and Christopher McQuarrie. Top Gun Maverick became a blockbuster hit when many theaters were still shuttered during the COVID-19 pandemic. It grossed $1.5 billion at the box office from a $170 million budget, giving movie theaters the jolt they needed when times were tough. Cruise returned for Maverick 36 years after he debuted his Hot Shot pilot in the 1986 original. His Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell went back to the famous flight school to teach new batch of pilots of how to successfully run a dangerous mission. He also crossed paths with Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, played by Miles Teller, the son of his best friend Pete Goose Bradshaw, who died in the first movie. Together, they're able to complete the mission with their fellow trainees and return home in one piece. So, my thoughts on the Top Gun, it's not that big of a surprise because I already knew that they were going to do a third one at some point. It was only a matter of when. And during this movie, Top Gun Maverick became one of the highest grossing movies in the post-pandemic. And this movie was originally supposed to come out in 2019, and then it got so many delays. Then COVID hit, and then this was before the Ellison brothers took over at Paramount. And Tom Cruise did his best to fight for the movie theatrical experience, and he did, and he fucking fought it. He stuck to his guns, and it made a shit ton of money, and it really what saved cinema's ass. And this is one of the first action films that got nominated for Best Picture, and Spielberg came cross paths with Tom Cruise, shaking hands like, dude, you saved cinema's ass. And he was speaking facts. And we already knew that at some point the sequel was going to get made. And this was not a big shock that the third one's going to get in the works. But anyway, passing on to you guys. Brian, what do you think about this news?
I love it. It sounds like a great idea on paper. But again, it's going to be like it's in development. Will it actually get made? That's going to be a thing that remains to be seen. Like, I love Top Gun Maverick with my whole heart. Saw it twice in theaters. It was fantastic. Like, Cruise is great, Miles Teller's great. That whole movie was just a great piece of business. What are they going to do with a Top Gun 3, though? That's the thing. Because it's like, are they going to get, like, Viper's grandson or something? Or, like, one of, like, I forget the name of the pilot who, like, had a panic attack in the first one. It's not coming to me now, but, like, the son of that pilot, like, trying to redeem himself, I need to see a script. And until then, I remain optimistic, but cautiously optimistic.
But if they were going to bring back Joseph Kosinski to direct it, I would be all in 100%, even when Tom Cruise is heavily involved. But anyway, pass it on to you, TJ. What do you think about this news?
Again, it's a no-brainer. I'm only concerned because after Top Gun Maverick, Tom Cruise's last two Mission Impossible movies didn't do all that well. So his stock kind of went down, and he's doing nothing but sequels now, and that concerns me. But I will say this as a caveat. If that movie Digger does well, and he gets some Oscar buzz, and then go into Top Gun Maverick 3, then we'll have a hit on our hands. Because I think this movie he's doing opposite of Top Gun is something of an Oscar contender. I think he's going to surprise everybody playing, I think, a 75-year-old man in makeup. So if that does well, it bodes well for a future project like Top Gun 3. But right off the bat, again, I need to see a script and what's the story going to be this time.
Yeah, he's a total madman. He will do anything for he won't care how old he is. But what were you saying, Ryan?
I was just gonna add, have you guys read the plot to Digger? It sounds like just insane.
Well,
It sounds like Armageddon. It sounds like Armageddon.
one thing. I'll stop you right there. We'll cover that Digger later. We'll get into that. But I'm going to pass it on to you, Jake. What do you think about this?
I love Top Gun Maverick. That is my favorite movie of 2022. Me and my dad ended up, by the way, going to theaters and seeing it like 12 times in theaters. Okay. And my dad's a truck driver, so he would go and find a theater to go watch it in. And so he's still like, basically anytime he comes home and he says if he's bored, he's like, I want to watch Top Gun Maverick because he loves that movie so much. I love Top Gun Maverick. I've seen it because of my father. I've seen it over 1,000 times. And I don't get bored of it because it's so good. I will say, that movie, by the way, it's lucky it turned out well because that movie had to go through several reshoots, by the way. I have a strong feeling that Christopher McQuarrie is going to write it and probably direct it because he was the one that directed all the reshoots and rewrites for that movie. So basically, like, yeah, Joseph Krasinski did not do the reshoots. Christopher McQuarrie did. In fact, Joseph Krasinski probably won't direct it because he kind of got screwed over a little bit on Top Gun Maverick. But I think F1 showed that he can, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, Joseph Krasinski, that's not really his. It's Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie. That, like, F1 was his movie, and I feel like this will be like. I feel like if this will happen, I don't think he's going to return. He's like, why would I return? I mean, I'd be shocked if he returned. I think Christopher McQuarrie probably end up being the director, or they'll find a new guy to direct it. But I honestly am excited because I know Glenn Powell needs a hit. Okay, like I don't think this new J.J. Abrams movies that he's got coming up is going to be a hit. Running Man wasn't a hit. And I know everyone liked him in Top Gun Maverick. And I think, honestly, he needs another hit. Miles Teller needs another hit. Tom Cruise needs a hit. I think this would be a perfect hit for them.
Well, I will say, not to cut you off, Jake, but Miles Teller has another big movie coming out with the Michael Jackson biopic movie, which is generating a lot of box office numbers for pre-ticket sales. So that's going to be, he's in the movie, but don't expect him much in it. But with Glenn, I agree with you that Glenn Powell definitely needs a win for this because ever since Top Gun Maverick, he became a big star. But most of his leading movies have not done well. With one a little bit of exception with Twisters, it did fine at the box office. It didn't blow up as much as they were expecting.
Well.
Oh yeah, you're right. It did. You're absolutely correct on that. Yeah, I forgot that about him.
He passed on the lead role in Jurassic World Rebirth because he felt like, I'm better. And he chose Running Man instead. And I'm thinking, I bet you he regrets that because that would have done so well. I'm like, but at the same time, he got to work with Edgar Wright, and I know he really wanted to work with Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think this is a good idea.
To quote Gordon Ramsay, he traded one shit mess for another shit mess. So who knows?
At least one shit. At least the other shit. At least the one shit mess made money, and the other shit mess did not. Unfortunately, for the Running Man.
I suppose you're right.
I mean, as long as they work. I mean, the only thing is, it took them. You know how long it took them? They were going to make a sequel in the '90s. And remember the movie Stealth, how that was going to be the plot of Top Gun Maverick, and then they just but Tom Cruise said no to it, and then they rewrote it and reshuffled it, and it became the movie Stealth. Can you imagine if we finally get the AI planes or whatever? Like, I just hope to God we don't get that. I like how it's, I think it's going to be a hot minute, but I do think we're going to get within the next 10 years a sequel to Top Gun Maverick. But that's just my thoughts.
Wait, you believe that it's going to get 10 years? I don't think it's going to get 10 years because Tom Cruise is not going to get any younger.
I still within the course of 10 years we will have a sequel.
Maybe. But anyway, what do you guys think about this news about Top Gun 3 in the works? Were you surprised by it or were you not? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, next up for another movie that they covered at the Paramount panel, let me get into it. It's the Call of Duty that got announced for the live action Call of Duty movie. And they have a writer and director for this movie.
The director of Battleship, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they got Peter Berg. They got...
Okay, let's not start this. Peter Berg is an actually talented director. Okay, not every director's ever bat 1,000.
Yeah.
During the studio's Thursday presentation at CinemaCon, the studio revealed the long-awaited film adaptation of the juggernaut video game hit It will hit in theaters June 30th, 2028. And it will be directed by Peter Berg and then it will be written by Taylor Sheridan, which you may have known him that he did the screenplay for Hell or High Water. I don't know. Did he directed Wind River? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
I know he
Yes,
wrote
he
it.
did. He also created a little TV show called Yellowstone. You
Yellowstone.
may have
Yeah,
heard of.
he created a lot of these great hit shows from Paramount, from Peacock, and other great shows on there. Taylor and I are deeply connected to the special ops community, Peter Berg said in a video game message to the annual convention of the movie theater owners. The Deepwater Horizon director said he and super creator Sheridan are prioritizing authenticity among the group of elite soldiers on a human level, but also bring amazing scale. A sizzle reel boasted Call of Duty is one of the biggest gaming franchises of all time. Yeah, because they milk that shit in every goddamn year.
Every year a game comes out. Every fucking year.
Counting any 1 billion players in a lifetime revenue of $35 billion that made a generation believe there is a soldier in all of us. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Plot details in the cast for the plot details in the cast for the Call of Duty film haven't been revealed, but the game is a first-person shooter military series. Paramount has had success adapting games into movies, turning Sonic the Hedgehog into a major film in a streaming franchise. Video games have also inspired notable recent blockbusters as Super Mario Brothers and a Minecraft movie. So Call of Duty is backed by Microsoft owner, video game publisher Activision, and it encompasses more than 30 mainline games released since the original Call of Duty debuted in 2003. When the deal to make a movie was announced in September, sources said that while the pact is focused on making one Call of Duty movie, the deal includes the potential for Paramount to expand the Call of Duty universe across film and TV. I will say that for me personally, at first, when they announced that they were going to do a Call of Duty movie, I didn't really give a shit about it. Now, until they announced at the panel that Peter Berg was in the helms of directing it, and then you got Taylor Sheridan, the guy who gave us Hell or High Water, Wind River, and then he gave us a lot of the great shows like Mayor of Kingstown. What else? What was the lone show? Tulsa King in Yellowstone. He made a lot of, he was a part of the producers of a juggernaut TV series. And here's the thing, say what you want about Peter Berg from that stupid fucking Battleship movie. At least he came back with a comeback movie with Lone Survivor, which was one of the most underrated military film biopic movie, which I loved. If you have not seen Lone Survivor, it's amazing. Then he made Deepwater Horizon, which I really liked. I didn't love it. It's kind of most forgettable movie. But then he did Patriots Day with Mark Wahlberg, and I thought that movie was really good and very dark and really intense. So with him at the helm and directing another like a war movie, that he kind of did something like that in Lone Survivor, except that it felt a little bit more of the Medal of Honor style when you watch Lone Survivor. But with him directing Call of Duty, sign me up. And I'm someone who had played a lot of the Call of Duty games. I love the earlier Call of Duty games like Black Ops, Modern Warfare. They were one of the best games at that time. But then later they kept milking it with a lot of these crazy DLC packs, season pass, and characters that were so ridiculous. And then they did it fucking Battle Royale Fortnite style. And now it just became more of the same every game every year. But anyway, enough of me yapping along. I want to give thoughts on Ryan. What did you think about this news of the director and writer for the Call of Duty game?
Yeah, sign me up for it. I've actually played a couple Call of Duty games myself. I really liked, minus the presence of Kevin Spacey, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I thought that one was a lot of fun. Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one was really fun. So yeah, and with this director and this screenwriter, yeah, I'm on board for it. Like face value, I'm there day one, because Peter Berg, he also directed The Rundown with The Rock and Sean William Scott. That movie is a total blast.
Yeah, you're right.
Later,
he did.
And regardless, like as I sit here now, I'm so looking forward to this. I could have sworn they were going to make a Call of Duty movie for like a decade at this point. They just never have. I'm surprised there hasn't been one made yet, but here we are.
Anyway, TJ, what did you think about this news?
My son and his buddies are really into the game. I don't know the game that well, but I know of it because it's so popular. Peter Berg is a very talented director. I like that. great screenwriter. So the combination behind the camera is perfect. Now I heard, I don't know if it's fake news, is Walt Marlboro going to be in this movie as the star, the
No.
lead actor?
No, they haven't
You ever
announced
heard
the
that?
cast. Well, no, they haven't announced the cast yet. They only announced that they're in development and they got a now director and a writer. They haven't said who's
I
in
heard
it.
that yesterday, so I don't know if it was fake news.
Because he's in every Peter Berg movie, so that's probably why.
Yeah,
he's
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
saying. It's Mark Wahlberg. Watch.
So, should it be rated R or should it be PG, a hard PG-13?
Probably
That's
going to be
probably
R
the
because all the
question.
games were mature,
Rated R for sure.
Yeah.
most likely.
If it's rated R, then sign me up. If it's PG-13, I'm a pass.
But anyway, Jake, what did you
One-
think about this news?
What was it, Ryan? What were you going to say, Ryan? Oh, I thought Ryan was going to say something.
Oh no.
I will say this. I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. I own every single game, with the exception of the last couple of games, because after Modern Warfare, or what was it called, Cold War, I tapped out because you can't even put the game anymore, the disc. You have to download as a DLC the campaign, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of that.
I think you're talking about Black Ops Cold War.
Yeah, Black Ops Cold War. That is where I tapped out. After Black Ops Cold War, I'm like, I'm not gonna get Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 4 and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. But I did like the 2020 Modern Warfare game they did. I thought that was really, but I know people got mad about it because they were bitching about like how, because they took like the what's it called, the embassy, the Benghazi raid, and they also put the Bin Laden raid and the London attack in the game. They put those attacks and inspired them in that game. And I think a lot of people were upset about that because they're taking real world events and using it for a game. And I get that, but at the same time, you kind of feels like I want to feel like I'm really there, and I think it works in an effective way. And I think that's one thing. I'm a look. I know I was being teasing about Battleship. I'm a big fan of Peter Berg. I do think The Lone Survivor is one of the greatest movies out there that Mark Wahlberg has done. Look, I even have a soft spot for Battleship. Even yes, I know. Yeah, it's not a great movie, but I have it. I mean, it has its moments. There's some fun moments, and I will say, Call of Duty. I don't see it's going to be like a war movie. If it's just a war movie, then I'm out. But I have a feeling. I don't want it to be like they suck like Jumanji, where they're sucked into a war game and then there's zombies. Like, holy shit, zombies, run! Like, I don't want it to be like that.
I highly doubt they'll do that.
I'm just kind of curious. How are you going to do a Call of Duty movie that's not just a generic war movie and it's not where you're sucked into a video game? That's why.
Well, no, they'll just make a war movie. I mean, it's something.
But nobody wants a war movie. There's a thousand war movies.
Yeah, but they'll take a lot of influences from the games, but most of the time it's just going to have
How
original.
you gonna work zombies into it? Oh my god! There's zombies.
I mean, there's first of all, when they're not going to go
One
for
thing-
zombies. I feel like you're overreacting, Jake.
One thing I just remembered, we technically did kind of get a Call of Duty movie last year called Warfare. The A24 movie?
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, you're all right.
I do trust the Taylor Sheridan, because I mean he has not stirred us wrong with any of his shows or movies, and like even though I feel bad for him because in 2021 he had that movie, Angelina Jolie, Those Who Wish Me Dead, which I thought that movie was pretty good. I felt bad that movie's got dumped on streaming because and I mean really sucks. But I mean I think he's a great director. Peter Berg's a great director. I have faith in it and I'm hoping for the best. Okay. One thing that scares me though, Matt, it has the release date of the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Like, remember how all the Transformers always come out at the end of June? And I'm like, why is it coming out? That's what scares me, because it's like, they must think this is going to be like another Transformers type of movie, because that's what scares me, because I'm like, why would they put it at the end of the summer?
Who knows?
That scares me, because I'm like, they must think this is something like a Transformers type of movie. Why would Paramount put that release date? Because what kind of war movie goes out in the summer?
All right. What did you think
Probably
about
the
this?
only thing available.
What were you saying, TJ?
We're having issues again.
No, what were you saying?
No.
I can't hear Matt.
Oh, you can't hear me? What?
Leave and come back again. That's what I did, and I can hear everyone now.
All right.
See, Matt, what you did with hosting?
Not my fault with the technical problems.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay, I'll say
I can hear everyone okay.
Yeah, I can hear everybody else, everybody but Matt.
Hey, TJ, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, leave and come back, so that way maybe it's a technical issue. Maybe that's
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, jump to the next topic now.
All right, what did you think about this whole Call of Duty news of the director and the writer? What did you think? Did it increase your excitement level? Did it not? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. Now on to the next the movie for the Paramount Panel of the new Jackass 5 movie got a new title. And it's called what was it? What the name of the title?
Jackass Best and Last.
Best and Last, yeah, Best and Last. Let me get to that.
Pull the article up, which Jackass. Can you hear us, guys?
Can you hear?
Yes.
Can you hear Matt?
Yes.
Everybody's good.
All right.
I don't know. It's weird, Matt. It's like I guess it must be like everybody can't hear you, but they can hear everyone else. That's weird.
I know that's very odd.
Maybe it's because you're hosting. That's why.
I don't think that's why, Jake.
Maybe it's doing our turn.
You know the kind of shit he does. He likes to blame it on me for everything.
It's always Matt's fault. Okay, everybody hates Matt. Like everybody loves Raymond. Everybody hates Chris. Like everybody hates Matt. Everybody hates Matt.
All right, the new Jackass is Best and Last. That's a new title that they covered at the CinemaCon. The Jackass crew is taking one last painful blow with their new movie this summer titled Jackass Best and Last. Paramount showed off the first trailer of the cringe-inducing stunt series, fifth and final entry at CinemaCon, the annual convention for the movie theater owners held in Las Vegas. It will hit in theaters on June 26th. Co-creator Johnny Knoxville, who's been beaten up, chased by bulls, and sent to the hospital several times throughout the series, made the surprise announcement earlier this year that Jackass 5 was on the way. And it comes after Jackass Forever, the fourth main entry, came in 2022 and introduced a new generation of the stunt performers to carry the torch as Knoxville and the original cast members have gotten older. The trailer had plenty of groans, gasps, and even a few tears at Knoxville, and the crew put their bodies on the line and to say goodbye. There was lots of nostalgic archival footage shown of this amateur stuntmen, including the late Ryan Dunn and an ex-cast member, Bam Margera. Sorry if I'm butchering his last name. Some of the new stunts include Steve-O getting a painful prostate exam from a robot named Larry Sean Poopies. What the fuck? Put in a shock collar on his penis and escape from room from hell that punishes everyone's bodies. What the fuck? This description just amuses me. My name is Johnny Knoxville, and I'm going to try to not get emotional. The star said on the CinemaCon stage, "This is the last Jackass film the world will ever see. Jackass means a lot of the hell of a lot for me. We knew we were making the last one. We went extra hard to make sure this was also our best Jackass film ever."
Good.
For this news, I'm not that surprised that they wanted to do a very last one, because really, how far can you really go with the stunt work, especially with the OG cast members that are now getting older and they're at a point where they can't do it anymore, they're putting their life on the line. Especially when they added the new cast members, the new generation of Jackass. But really, can these new cast members really carry it on their own? The only one that can really hold is the OG cast, especially Johnny Knoxville. He's always been the face of that whole Jackass franchise. I remember watching it on a television show on MTV, saw in a few episodes doing some amateur stunts, and I've seen pretty much all the movies. And my favorite one was Jackass number 2. That was like the peak of the Jackass. And I remember going to the theater seeing Jackass Forever. It was like back in like 2022 when it came out, and it was like the beginning of when theaters were starting to really emerge back into its fold. And I remember the audience going nuts, doing their stunt work, a lot of dicks and a lot of fucking bulb crushes. I nearly threw up watching that movie. It was so fucking hilarious, but disgusting at the same time. And I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to us for this Jackass, for this Best and Last movie. And it looks like they're going to go balls to the wall, even bigger than any other Jackass film from what they describe. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What do you think about this?
Jackass Forever had no business being that funny. Like, I was like wheezing. I was laughing at it that hard. Haven't seen the other ones. I know, I know, I know. Watch party coming to the chat. But it makes me want to watch them and prepare for this. My one wish list item, number one, they have to do something with pro wrestler Darby Allin, and number two, they need to get Bam Magara, at least for like a cameo, something to kind of like, if this is the last one, they need to get him. And that's all I'll say about that.
TJ, what did you think?
It's a no-brainer. Jackass is a unique movie because kind of remind me of Ghostbusters. The OG cast cannot be defeated, and kind of like the old Star Trek. After Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the other three movies could not live up to the hype of the original cast. So that last Jackass movie was good, but the original people is who we go to see. So one last ROM, one last ride, I'm down. Because the new cast, I don't think they can fully take the helm and take over. You got to bring the OGs back and, bust dicks, balls, penises. I'm down. I love it.
Jake, what about you?
Well, first off, I'm surprised. I'm a huge Jackass fan, and they've been like Johnny Knoxville literally lost his eye fell out of his socket, and literally in real life, he said, because of all the stunt with the bull. And he said, I'm surprised he had so much brain damage. He's had concussions. I'm surprised like John Knoxville is normal and sane. I'm surprised they don't roll him out in a wheelchair and he goes, "Hey guys, my name's Johnny Knoxville. I hope you like this movie we did for you." And you're like, oh shit. Like I said, he has so much brain damage. But luckily he's like, he's sharp as a tack and everything and all that. And I'm so happy for Johnny Knoxville that this is like the final chapter. And I know in part 4, a lot of the main cast, the original cast, did not participate in a lot of the stuff. They usually got the new cast. And I feel like that's what they're going to do for this movie as well. Like, they did say that this will be old footage that's never been seen before. Like a lot of the stunts with the old cast, since I guess the old cast doesn't want to do new stunts. Like they said, the most of the like Bam is not in this movie and Ryan Dunn's no longer with us. So like they'll be using footage that they never aired before that will be in this movie. And also they said that some cat like Steve-O will obviously do a stunt, like we'll do a couple stunts. And I guess like Wee Man might do a stunt or something, but most like Knoxville, I don't think is going to do any stunts. I think it's mostly going to be like the new cast, like Poopies and the other in like King Snake or whatever his name is, King Cobra or whatever his name is. But yeah, I'm excited to see this. I just want to watch people get hurt for like an hour. That's just funny to me. I think that's really funny. I mean, last year was so funny, and everything. And I think honestly, it's going to be interesting to see this, the final one. I hope it's just not a best of. I hope it's actually the final chapter. So
Nice.
All right, what did you think about this? The title of the Jackass, Best and Last. Are you excited for this movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now on to another another movie that they cover at the CinemaCon and panel. Let me get to it. It's the Ty West directing A Christmas Carol, and then Johnny Depp is going to be one of the stars of the movie. And they showed, and I believe that they showed the footage for this one. The footage from the Christmas Carol starts with Johnny Depp as the Scrooge walking through the town. He says, "Bah humbug," promoting the Christmas humbug line from his nephew Fred. And Ian McKellen arrives as the ghost of Jacob Marley. He is very pale and Benzer and is approached by Andre as the ghost of Christmas Past, who is white, bald, wearing a apparent wedding dress. The ghost of Christmas Future is tall and haunting. Tremel Tillsman, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, Ghost of Christmas Present is deathly ill with an exposed rib cage. Creatures jump from his chest. The footage has some of the humor seen in depths of other characters, but the actual spirit are dark and frightening. Much of the dialogue is ripped from the Charles Dickens book. So, my thoughts on this, I had no idea that they were going to do a Christmas Carol adaptation that was directed by Ty West. I believe that this is the same guy who directed the whole X trilogy, the X, Pearl, and Maxine. And this is probably one of Johnny Depp's first movie to ever come out the gate.
He
to
did
being in the
another one.
theatrical run. I had no. Yeah, he did add another one, but I just don't
He
remember
did
what it
Day
was.
Drinker, but it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, you got Ian McKellen being one of the characters in the movie, and you got the actor Tellman from Severance. He's also going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So it gives me a little bit more faith because I think Ty West is a very good filmmaker. I think, to me, Pearl is my favorite of the three of the slasher movies that he made. And seeing his take on the Christmas Carol is going to be really dark and very interesting on his take. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan Cam. What do you think about this news?
I'm a huge Christmas Carol nerd, so I love this news. Like, I love it so. Like, I loved the X trilogy. Johnny Depp take or leave, but I would imagine that he would do well with this. So, if they keep it in like the 1800s, which is where the original story took place, then I think this could be quite good. Like, to me, there are not a ton of bad Christmas Carol adaptations out there. Like, they can throw anything at it, like the Muppets, like they can get Guy Ritchie to direct it. It doesn't matter. I will always be there for a Christmas Carol. So yeah, big thumbs up for me.
What about you, TJ?
It's always great when a guy who does horror takes on something different because they see things different than your average director. And Christmas Carol can be a haunting tale. It can be a little scary, but they kept it light. I think if they go a little dark, and man, and Johnny Depp, I love this dude. I miss him. If he's in a movie, sign me up. He's one of the last superstars who was kind of gothic that I went to all of his movies. I kind of imagine if Tim Burton was directing this is what we're going to get. Ty West is a great dude behind the camera. I can't wait to see his take on this. I think it's going to be quite magical and a little freaky at the same time.
All right. What about you, Jake?
Well, first off, I'm a massive Johnny Depp fan. Like Johnny Depp, growing up, I have literally like 4 Jack Sparrow posters from each Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And I had a Sweeney Todd poster that literally, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to get a poster of Johnny Depp on the cover of Rolling Stones on my wall, but mom's like, no, people are going to think you're gay or something. So I had to literally, I was like, she's like, you can get Sweeney Todd, but not Johnny Depp poster. So I got a Sweeney Todd poster and had it for years on my wall. And so I remember watching Sweeney Todd 1,000 times, and I love that movie. And so then, of course, watching, I really sucked seeing Johnny Depp because I'm like, oh, man, I used to look up to the guy. And then, of course, the whole Amber Heard trial thing, which kind of vindicated him. So I'm really happy about that. And I do think he should work. Just like, here's the thing, I have a hot take. I think she should be able to work too. I think both of them. I mean, to me, it's like it isn't like he was like, had like 7 or 8 women accuse him of something. It was just like, hey, he had one woman who accused him. And you know what? And I think, honestly, he should be able to work. I mean, like, there's people out there, there's other celebrities that have way worse allegations against them that are way worse that are still working. So I think, honestly, he should be able to work. And I mean, honestly, yeah, I understand he's kind of like he has a drinking issue and a drug issue. But I mean, you could tell him, hey, look, we'll hold your paycheck until if you make sure you're able to do this movie and not have any mistakes. And I think he's going to do great as Scrooge. I've never seen a movie where I mean, there's been some bad movies he's made, but I don't think it's ever been his performance. I mean, mostly. And I think this is really exciting. I know Ian McKellen has said, like, in an interview that his favorite co-star to ever work with was Johnny Depp on this movie because Ian McKellen plays Jacob Marley in this movie. And so, which I'm very excited to see this movie because, and this movie comes out, we and Matt were talking about, this movie comes out the same day as Father-in-Law. And I think this movie's going to wipe out Father-in-Law because everybody wants to see Johnny Depp again.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people going, I can't wait to see Ben Stiller and Ariana Grande. People are like, I want to see Johnny Depp.
Well, to be fair, they haven't even put out the trailer yet. They only show the footage at CinemaCon, and most people are not aware that this movie's coming out.
A standing ovation.
Collins,
even his last film, Maxine, did not do well. It was the third film of his last film did not do as well as they were hoping for.
Did you see that Johnny Depp got a standing ovation at CinemaCon?
Collins, let's be respectful to all 5 of the Fokker film fans out there.
Oh, fuck you. I'm one of the 5. I'm going to see this movie, but I'm not going to theaters.
Okay, make it 6.
I'm going to wait till it hits Peacock to watch it. Because I'm like, Johnny Depp or Ariana Grande. I was
Not
like,
even
yeah,
close.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, it's Johnny Depp. Okay, he's the last movie star. Okay, we want to see him in movies. Okay, Johnny Depp is the king. I want to see him back. As a lot of people were speculating, oh, Disney's panels in a couple hours. Is he going to walk out on stage and be like, I'm back as Jack Sparrow? I'm like, I would say there's more likely a chance of him returning to Pirates than there is of Shia returning to Transform back. And actually, I would not say that. I would say that. But I would say, there's a higher chance of him returning to Pirates than them doing a Pirates without him, because I just don't think they're going to do a Pirates without him, because they know Jack Sparrow is.
You serious?
Ouchie! Ouchie!
But anyway, what did you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, this is probably definitely going to be the last one for the Paramount. I mean, there's a couple more that we can cover, but we don't want to go on for a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's the last Paramount.
Yeah, the last part. I want to get into the Street Fighter trailer that dropped yesterday, and I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So, what did you guys think of? Have you seen the trailer? What did you think? I'm going to pass it on to Ryan.
So this is the trailer for. I'm sorry, I brain farted. What was this
Street
again?
Fighter. You know that Street Fighter movie, the one you gave me shit about for not watching the trailer?
Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? I think this looks fun. I prefer to see Mortal Kombat 2 over this. But like, Collins, you were talking mad crap about how bad this was.
I saw the teaser before this. I saw the teaser. And this trailer did not move any mountains either.
I have a real attachment to Street Fighter. I thought this looked perfectly serviceable. When I go see this, I'm going to see this for Cody Rhodes and Hiroki Goto, who play Guile and E Honda respectively. That's the only reason. But this just looks okay to me.
TJ, what did you think of it? Have you seen that trailer? What did you think?
Yeah, the trailer is very accurate. You know, far as matching how the game looks, it's dead on. And sometimes to its detriment, in real life, it looks terrible. But I think that's the whole point. They're not taking themselves serious. They want to take you back to the arcade style of games back in the day when I was a kid. And, you know, it's worth a matinee. I wouldn't pay full price for this. Matinee, popcorn, hoping somebody pays for you. Have a good time. Because anybody getting their ass kicked in slow motion, I'm all for it. I like it.
I did give my trailer reaction yesterday on my channel. If you want to watch it, you can go and check out my channel. And my thoughts, and I wasn't too crazy about it. And I will agree when they put out that teaser announcement at the Video Game Awards, we can all agree it looked like a pile of dog shit. It looked really terrible. It looked like the cast members were coming off the cosplay, and the footage itself was so choppy that it looked like it was an SNL skit for a moment. Now, I will say, watching this trailer, a proper trailer, it gives us a little bit more what it's about, and it looks like they wanted to be more faithful to the games, is what TJ has brought up. And the only best part about that trailer was Ryu. Ryu was the scene stealer. This is the actor who was coming off of that Cinemax series called
I
War.
have a few questions, starting with what the fuck?
Ouchie!
This is what you get. You keep interrupting. But yeah, Ryu was the scene stealer. Ken Masters, that's played by Noah. I thought his character was kind of very douchey and unlikable, and this feels to me that they're coming off a bit of a generic sports comeback story where a champion came on top, got cocky, gets beaten down, and now he has to redeem himself in the redemption story. That's what it felt like. But I'm not going to go out on the limb and going crazy about the Street Fighter movie. I'll give it a shot, because I love the actor who's playing Ryu. I think he was the only one who was the best part about this trailer. And that's all. And I think that, and I haven't seen Mortal Kombat 2, but comparing to those two movies, Mortal Kombat 2 looks like the Citizen Kane between comparing those two. But who knows? We'll know until we see the movie. But I want to pass it on to Jake. What did you think of this trailer? Have you seen it?
I did. After y'all harassed me about seeing it, I saw it. I sat down, I watched it. And I was saving my thoughts.
You were making an assumption on its quality, and I told you
saw
when
the
you make
teaser, so I
assumptions,
said this. I'm not
you
looking
become
forward
an
to it.
ass, and an ump will shun you, dude.
Okay, it'd be different if I hadn't seen any trailers and was like, okay, I think it's going to be shit. But I saw the teaser at the Game Awards, and I'm like, this looks like shit. So when I went and watched this trailer, I'm like, I hope it. And the first red flag I saw was, okay, they're playing that song, the same one that Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City played. And I'm like, oh, that's the first red flag, because it's like, yeah, that worked out well for Welcome to Raccoon City. But this is what I have an issue with. It looks like they should just put a YouTube original, because that's what it looks like to me. This looks like it's like fans that made this on YouTube. It looks like something like Logan Paul would make. This doesn't move any mountains. I'm like, this looks like shit. Okay, this honestly, like, I could make it better. This makes the Legend of Chun-Li look good.
You're comparing this to The Culling. Okay, you're taking it a bit far.
Look, okay, like, this movie looks awful. Okay, I'm like, this movie, I would not pay to like when TJ said I paid a matinee, I would be like, I would not pay $1 for this movie to watch this movie. If it was free, I might skip it even. I'm like, free is too much.
Did this movie like run over your dog or something? The movie looks
man.
fine. Like,
You
where
take it
is
as
this
kind of
vitriol
personal,
coming from?
This looks like shit. And it's like, everybody on the line's like, oh, this looks fun. I'm like, how does this look fun? Okay, if I hit my dick in and slam it in the door a couple of times, would that be fun? Like, oh, it looked fun to me.
Okay, you mean from a technical point it looks bad? I mean, the action looks fun, the fighting looks good.
Action looks fun, but like from like the acting and stuff is like, and then
Come on, you got 50 Cent in the movie. Come on now.
Then you have David Small Chin as Bison, and I'm like, oh god. I was like, which I love Dave. I just want to say I love Dave the Small Chin, but like him playing Bison in this movie, I knew that was like, that's an odd choice. He would be someone else. Should be someone else. Not Bison.
Would you prefer like the late Raul Julia sleepwalking through, where the only thing that anyone remembers is that Van Damme was in it, and then
Neil McDonough is a better Bison.
Like, the only thing that anyone remembers from that other Street Fighter movie is that Van Damme was in it, and then the "of course" clip. That's literally it.
Yeah, that's it.
So
I just think,
like,
and then on top of Andrew, so what's his name? Andrew, the comedian, Andrew Santino, is like, oh, we're gonna wipe Mortal Kombat out. And I'm like, bitch, please. Like, Mortal Kombat's gonna wipe their floor with you. Like that, like Mortal Kombat actually looks like a real movie.
The only thing impressive about that comedian is his mustache. That's about it.
Damn.
I mean,
ouch.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I just.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna give you a hug next time I see you. Damn, you all right?
All right, you give me a hug because I'm like, fuck this movie. What the fuck's everybody wrong with this movie? Yes, everybody on crack, just like me and Matt were fighting over Crank the other day. I'm like, Crank is fucking awful. Like I said, the Crank 2 is even worse. They're like, yeah, but it's supposed to be fun and bad. I'm like, is it really supposed to be that awful? Like, are we that dumb as a society now that we can't judge if a bad movie is bad? We should not give it a pass for being bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you think of this this trailer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And now onto the Universal panel that I wanted to cover. Let me see. I wanted to cover a little bit of the footage that they showed for the Odyssey of the Christopher Nolan. I mean, they only showed like the 5-minute footage of this movie. And this was like during the Trojan Horse sequence.
That's basically the IMAX trailer, right? Isn't that basically the IMAX footage they saw? Because they said that was. So
I will confirm it because I saw the 5-minute footage during Avatar: Fire and Ash when Odysseus and his men were in the Trojan Horse. They invaded the Troy, and that sequence, the 5-minute sequence, was fucking jaw-dropping. It's basically the opening of the movie.
Yep.
It's where it starts, and it was so good the way they crafted it. It just felt like it was an old school Swords and Sandals, and I thought that what Nolan did and how he crafted was amazing. The music score really kept you on edge, and that footage was absolutely outstanding. I cannot wait. It got me excited when I saw that at the time when I was watching in IMAX in front of Avatar: Fire and Ash. So. For what I've described and when everyone described the footage, I want to get your thoughts, Ryan, about this whole footage.
Well, when it comes to Christopher Nolan, just in general, to quote Carly Simon, nobody does it better. And just everything I've seen from this movie looks phenomenal. It's my most anticipated of the year. July can't get here fast enough.
TJ, how about you?
I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan for the fact that he's self-taught. He did not go to film school. he put models together, got a camcorder out, and became a director. And I think his most skilled thing that he does is frame shots. He takes something simple and give it scope. And I can literally turn down the volume and watch his films and be entertained. This guy is one of the best ever.
Jake, what about you? Are you more excited about it when you heard about the footage? And have you seen the footage of that
I have
sequence?
not seen the IMAX footage, no, because
Oh, right, you don't have an IMAX. I forgot about that.
But I'm a huge fan of Nolan, and look, cheap plug. I just reviewed The Dark Knight last night on my channel, so link it, cheap plug. But I said my review. Christopher Nolan, ever since The Dark Knight, he has earned the fans. All Batman fans will support him because for him making Batman serious again and taking it so seriously and making Batman making the Dark Knight the highest grossing Batman movie ever made and showing that comics can be taken seriously, fans will always support him. And this movie, the fact that he's taking Greek mythology seriously, and like most people don't even take Greek mythology seriously. And I'm a huge fan of the movie Troy with Brad Pitt. So, and I know that he was the director of that movie until Wolfgang Peterson told him, I want to direct that movie. And they fired him and gave him the Batman Begins as a constellation prize, to which I'm sure I'm sure right now he's like, oh yeah, you gave me the better movie. Oh, because I mean, look, I love Troy, but Batman Begins is a better movie. I mean, I'm not crazy, that's a much better movie. And I'm just saying, like, and I'm sure Christopher Nolan's like, you basically gave somebody, they thought he would have given him silver, instead they gave him gold, and then they gave Wolfgang Peterson got the silver, and I thought that's the funniest thing ever. And now he fully gets to make that movie he wanted to make back in 2003 or 4. And I'm really happy that you see this. And I understand they also announced that Charlize Theron is playing Calypso, which I'm like, that's a very good. Because when I was a kid, I watched the TV movie The Odyssey, and Vanessa Williams was Calypso. And let me tell you, I went through puberty very fast watching that movie.
Dude, I remember when they showed the TV movie of The Odyssey, and I was in 8th grade, and I was in a Greek mythology class, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm someone who really loved Troy. I love that it was such an underrated movie, and the director's cut of that film was such a better version of that film. And yeah, like you brought up, Jake, that originally that Christopher Nolan was supposed to be attached to it, and this is supposed to be around the year when this movie came out, when Nolan was shooting Batman Begins. And I will agree that Batman Begins is an underrated movie and was a better Batman movie, but I disagree that I think The Dark Knight was a better movie than Batman Begins. But I will say that Batman Begins is still a better Batman movie than The Dark Knight. It was always been more of a Batman.
I'm not saying The Dark Knight's better or worse. I'm saying The Dark Knight's a better movie. I'm just saying Batman Begins is a better movie than Troy.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, wait, what?
I'm not crazy. No, I'm not. Dark Knight is the best Batman movie ever made.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you think about hearing this, the 5-minute footage of the Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey? Did it really increase your excitement level? Have you seen the 5-minute footage when you saw it in IMAX during Avatar Fire and Ash? Now on to a little bit of the next movie that I want to cover for the Universal panel is the Minions and Monsters.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It says that it's supposed to be taking place in the 1920s, and Charlie Chaplin's character is supposed to be making an appearance, and they show the footage. The scene we saw was a train robbery gone wrong as the Minions try to chase their new evil boss. They take the train over, and it literally goes off the rails, destroying the streets of Los Angeles, and in the process, it's then revealed they actually took over a movie set as the director, voiced by Christoph Waltz, gets angry and calls, "Cut!" That was the footage of this movie. But for me personally, I never really got into the whole Minions. I never watched any of the films. I mean, I know it's supposed to be tied to the Despicable Me. And I actually was one of the people that I did really like the first one. The second one was okay, but I never got past it after the third one. And here's the thing: even though I'm not that excited, it's targeted for children. It's not targeted for our demographic as an adult. And sometimes you got to you're asking yourself why they keep doing it. Well, it's making money. Kids will go see it. The parents will take them to go see it because it's going to make a butt ton of money. And interesting that they wanted to take this time period in the 1920s. So this is basically a prequel story before the events of Despicable Me. And hearing the description, hearing Christoph Waltz, and this is basically a meta movie, really. And that's just what I thought. It sounds interesting, but I'm just not too crazy about it. I'm not going to go out of my way to pay this scene in the theaters anyway. But what did you think, Ryan, about this whole Minions and Monsters footage? Did it get you interested?
Well, it did a little. I've always kind of had a soft spot for the Minions movies. The solo Minions one was bad because without the Gru and the kids there, and it was just all the Minions, it got real old real quick. But I will say, Illumination has got to be the smartest movie studio of all time because like they make them for super cheap and they always make their money back times two or three. It's like the infinite money glitch of movie studios. So regardless of quality, it's going to make a lot of money. Now, whether this will actually be good remains to be seen. But there's some overwhelming hate for like Illumination and Despicable Me and all that. I'm like, it's a bit strong, but I get it. But I also like weirdly like it's complicated. Point is, I need to see more. Ultimately, I think this is just fine.
What about you, TJ?
I always root for the underdog. You know, like you said, this studio gets a lot of hate for some reason online. I don't understand it. Maybe because you got Disney people fighting, but kid movies, no matter how good or bad you think they are, they're not for your demographic. Shouldn't matter. They make money. That's all the studio cares about. They keep relighting these pictures. I hope it makes a buttload of money. I hope parents get together with their kids and have a good time. And that's it, man. You know, bring more money into the cinema. That's what it's all about. And Minions does that, whether you like it or not.
What about you, Jake?
I'm not really a Illumination fan. I mean, it's not because I don't like them or nothing. I've only watched one movie, and that's the first Despicable Me. I mean, I did ride the ride at Universal, the Despicable Me ride, and although I got motion sickness on it, I still had a fun time riding it. And it's yes, I mean, kids love these movies, and I'm sure like it'll make a lot of money. Parents will be driving. So everybody loves Minions. The toys sell well. People love Minions. The Halloween costume. There's even a reference in Neighbors too about the Minions. So I mean, hey, I mean, so look, I mean, I'm sure it will do well, and I'm happy that they're still making the dollar bills. You know, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that and I could have sworn that one of the people that worked on the Minions that worked on the Super Mario Brothers movie.
It's Illumination, so
It would
yeah.
make
They also worked
sense.
on that crappy Grinch movie with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway,
It's
what did you
not
think
that
about?
bad.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, what did you think about this Minions and Monsters? That whole description of footage, did it increase your excitement level? Are you someone out there that's still going to go see it with your kids no matter what? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, another movie for the Universal panel that I want to
Is it
cover.
the Fokker-in-Law?
Well, I was going to say, thank you for cutting me off, Jake.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the Fokker-in-Law trailer for this. For me personally, I've seen the trailer earlier today, and I personally did not care. I think it looks like another cash grab, lazy sequel. And I'm someone that really enjoyed the Meet the Parents. And Meet the Fockers was very underrated. I didn't think it deserved to get hated. But Little Fockers, I will agree that movie was god awful. And when I heard about that they're going to put Ariana Grande as the in-law of the son who's marrying this woman, and it was like, interesting. I guess they just want to get her because she is one of the mega stars that came off of The Wicked. So they covered this at the panel at CinemaCon. Ariana Grande has conquered global arenas, the Oscar stage, and now another CinemaCon. The triple threat star led up the annual Las Vegas convention of movie theater owners in the first trailer for Fokker-in-Law, a big screen outing that lets Grande flex her impressive comedy muscles alongside Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. Universal Pictures unveiled the first look for exhibitors, which sees Grande play love interest to Ben Stiller's son, played by Skylar Gazzano, who played Jimmy Olsen in the James Gunn Superman movie. The franchise original film Meet the Parents centered on Greg Fokker, enduring many awkward encounters while trying to impress his girlfriend's father, Robert De Niro, before proposing. It became a blockbuster hit, grossing $330 million worldwide and inspired 2 sequels before this latest. And this is the quote: "I guess you could say I'm the new De Niro of the franchise," a solo Stiller explained on stage at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. From the wings came De Niro, inspiring cheers from the exhibitors. Both men discussed what an honor it was to welcome Grande to the fold, as De Niro called her probably the single funniest scene partner I've ever been lucky enough to share the screen with while Stiller stared uncomfortably out to the crowd. In her 2026 Actors on Actors conversation with Adam Sandler, Grande described her character as Stiller's the son's girlfriend, who is not sure of or connecting with. He's very against me, and the worst part is, oh God, I'm sorry, my brain fart here. The worst part is his character's nightmare is I get along gorgeously with De Niro's character Jack. He loves me, and I get intimidated approval from the rest of the family. But anyway, my thoughts on the trailer, it just looks like another generic movie. I just don't really buy her as one of the funniest characters in that film. I just don't find her character all that believable. And the whole chemistry was just not really sitting well with me. The humor just felt very cringy, especially some of the physical comedic moments. But I want to get your thoughts, Ryan. Have you seen the trailer of Father-in-Law? What did you think of it?
I don't really have a ton to say, other than Robert De Niro is just going out sad. And that's all I have to say.
Damn. It's going out like, fuck Robert De Niro.
He's a really good actor, but just, I don't know, the past decade or so, like, he just needs to fire his
come on, you didn't like War with Grandpa?
Y'all remember Dirty Grandpa? Like, I was going to say, do you all remember Dirty Grandpa? I'm trying to forget.
I own that on Blu-ray. And I bought it just sight unseen. I bought it sight unseen because I had not seen it yet. I was like, I want to see if this is good. I like Zac Efron. I want to see it and watch it. Like, this is really stupid.
TheInternet.com exists for a reason. You could have saved yourself the $12.99.
It's so weird that they wanted to bring back this franchise that hasn't done for over a decade. Damn. And they thought that the only way they could make more money, they know that the Ben Stiller and De Niro are not going to sell it. So let's get Ariana Grande, who came off of the Wicked movies. Even the first one was so successful. The second one, not as much they were hoping for. And I also love Ben Stiller as an actor, but I think what he did with this show, with Severance on Apple TV Plus, he's really crushing it with that show as the producer.
He doesn't need this movie. That's the thing. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do another movie.
He's going back to the well of being like Severance is so worked out well for him. I just don't understand. Why would you go back? That's like when Zoolander. Remember when he did Zoolander 2 and everybody hated it? I mean, like, why would you go back? This might be another bad movie.
Anyway, TJ, have you seen the trailer? What did you think?
I did not see the trailer. Don't have to. It's a novelty that was funny in the first two movies, the name Fokker. That's how the whole thing got started, by having a name that sounds like a cuss word. That novelty has gone and passed. I tell you what, my man over here talking about his career ending the last 10 years sounds funnier than the whole premise of this new Fokker movie. That shit was hilarious. You really felt bad.
Y'all remember the Alto Nights? So does no one else, and all 2 people that saw it in theaters.
You remember Zoolander?
Yeah, man. 2? You know, I have no words. Like my man said, I have no words. I'm done.
What about you, Jake?
I am a huge Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers fan. I love Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, but like, because I literally, I had some issues with the trailer because I'm like, first off, Jack would never buy a freaking dog. He would get a cat because Jinxie, he even said in the first movie, I was like, in the first movie, you yell at a dog, it covers its genitals and like pets its head down. It's shame. A cat, you have to work for its attention to break it. And this movie it feels like it's throwing that logic out the window of the first 2 movies. You know, and I feel like Jay Roach because Jay Roach directed the first 2 and he didn't direct the third one. And I'm a huge fan of the first 2. And I remember last year I was redoing my house and Meet the Fockers was on TBS, and I ended up having the break to watch that movie because it was so fun still. And and there's like one of the funniest jokes in that movie is at the beginning where like he delivers the baby and they said, "We're gonna deliver the name," and then it says Gaylord Fokker. And then that was a funny joke. And then of course when they're like going through the RV and he gets tasered by Tim Blake Nelson, and then like the guy from Disney Channel that from Phil the Future goes, "Woo-wee, we got a rubber booby in here." like stuff like that made me laugh in the Hate the Fockers, you know. But yeah, just this trailer just looks so generic, and it's just like it just didn't move the needle. I will say it looked better than Little Fockers trailer. I remember watching the Little Fockers trailer and hating it. This one just looks like an improvement, but I just still think it's not. It doesn't look good. Like it just looks like, okay, remember us? We did this movie back in 2010. Yep. Now it's 2026. Ain't that crazy? 16 years ago. I'm just like, I just don't care at this point. I'm like, Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro need to go. Like Robert De Niro used to go make Oscar movies. Okay, he doesn't. And then like with Martin Scorsese, while Ben Stiller needs to just keep making like behind the scenes because it seems like that's what's working for his career, and just quit doing comedies and stuff because now it's like he's just becoming irrelevant. Like he's basically saying, "Oh, Ben Stiller starring in a movie." Ooh.
And also Robert De Niro trying to be in a raunchy comedy, it's just not working for him.
No.
Yeah, remember the War with Grandpa?
This man is in his 90s.
Well, I will say this: he was great in The Joker. That was Robert De Niro. Actually,
oh yeah,
that was a great film.
But and it was based off of one of his older films from back in the day. But yeah, man, still, I'd rather watch a clip of my man going on a rant about Robert De Niro than watch this new Fockers movie. That shit was hilarious, man. You are the man. That shit got my stomach hurting.
And also, when you watch that trailer, Ariana Grande is supposed to be the tough woman that tries to manipulate and control her fiance, the son. And I just don't believe it. That scrawny, bony-looking character is supposed to be the tough woman. I'm sorry, I don't buy into it. And when you watch that trailer, you know what I'm talking about. I love Ariana Grande in the Wicked movies. I think she's fantastic. She's a great singer. She definitely
give her a ham sandwich or something. Like I don't understand why they're starving her. Okay, there's food on set. I mean
no, she has some kind of a condition that they brought up, so that's why.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just eating because of or something.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with starving her. It's just that she had some medical issues that she's dealing with. I can't remember what it was on the top of my head right now.
That's sad.
But anyway, what did you think of the Focker in Law trailer? Are you more excited than we are? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But anyway, another movie for the Universal. This is going to be the biopic movie that with Snoop Dogg getting his biopic movie, and they got the lead actor of Jonathan Davis playing Snoop Dogg in this biopic drama. For Snoop Dogg and Jonathan Davis, the Outer Banks actor who plays the hip-hop superstar in the upcoming untitled biopic, kicked off Universal Pictures' CinemaCon outing, taking the stage to talk up the film by Craig Brewer. I wish I could give you more details on the project, Snoop said, but there were not many yet. It starts filming in Los Angeles this summer. We'll be back at CinemaCon next year with a trailer. He promised launching into a snippet of a gin and juice, nothing but a G thing, and more, and backed up by DJ Green Lantern, which DJ Green Lantern did the DJ on the stage at CinemaCon during the panel. The film follows the rise of fame of Calvin Broadus Jr., who took the moniker Snoop Doggy Dogg, later dropping the middle name. His smash debut album, Doggy Style, with Dr. Dre from Death Row Records, hit in 1993, starting a long career with the Grammy nominations. He branched into film and television in frequent collaboration with NBC Universal, appearing on The Voice and becoming a mainstay mainstay of the network's Olympic coverage. This is not a surprising for me that they were going to do another music biopic movie. I mean, the Snoop Dogg's biopic was about only a matter of when. It does seem interesting. I mean, I'm intrigued by it, and I'm not familiar with the actor Jonathan Davis. And it says that he was from the Netflix series called Outer Banks, which is a show I never seen. I know it's becoming a little bit more of a cult following on Netflix show. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this news?
I think it sounds interesting. My only real question is, who are they going to get to play Martha Stewart?
You fucker! You fucker! I stole my fucking joke. I was waiting. I'm like, fuck you.
So this is interesting news. I'd like to see that trailer. So that's all I'll say about that.
TJ, what did you think?
Growing up in Compton in LA, I know Snoop Dogg's story already. It's fascinating. To get where he's at now is fascinating. So it's going to be a great story if you don't know his background. And the fact that it's Universal, it's the cousin to the producer team behind Straight Outta Compton. So that gives me confidence. If they bring that kind of realism to his story, it's going to be a fantastic biopic, because his rise to fame is a story nobody's ever heard before, unless you kind of grew up in the hood like that. But it's fascinating. And he has a great story to tell. So I look forward to it. But I'm confident, because of what they did with Straight Outta Compton, that this will be great.
What did you think, Jake? Since Ryan stole your joke.
I know, that asshole, fucking asshole. Because I was like,
I didn't know that was your joke.
Martha Stewart. I was like, I wonder who's gonna play Martha Stewart. But I was like, I'll wait till my turn. And Ryan steals it like a little asshole. But no. But yeah. So I like Snoop Dogg, but I really didn't know he had a fascinating story. But until TJ just said that, I was gonna say, who cares? Like, I was like, what's it gonna say? Like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna be like, oh, it's a guy who literally gets into the business and then starts hosting game shows and teams up with Martha Stewart? I'm like, that no one cares about that. It's like when they announced the Bon Jovi movie. It's like, no one cares, because the greatest stories have already been told. Like, it's not like he dies at the end, or it's not like he at the end of the movie he goes to prison and then he's like revolts and breaks out. Nothing like that. It's just like he gets into the business and that's it. And you're just like,
basically a lot of these guys rap.
Like Michael Jackson has a fascinating story. Abuse a child and then goes to abusing children. That right there, again, allegedly. But then that right there is a fascinating story, because it's like, holy shit, it takes a dark turn. And then, of course, and then he dies. So that's even like, that's a movie. But in this one, it's just like, nothing happens to Snoop. It's like, he's still hosting game shows with Mark and the talk shows and everything. Like, but I'm trusting you, TJ. And you say it's going to be a fascinating story. I'm trusting you. I'm going to go in. And plus, yeah, it is. I love Straight Outta Compton. I think I still listen to that. I love the credits of that, how it cuts through all their like legacy of the footage and stuff.
It was like 11 years ago when Straight Outta Compton came out in theaters. I love that film. It made me listen to the NWA album.
People forget it's one of the highest grossing documentaries of all time, besides Bohemian Rhapsody. And a lot of people just know the rap chapter of these guys' lives. These guys had tanks going through their houses. I mean, it was crazy. And I lived through that era. That's when my parents moved to Sacramento to get me out of Compton, because all of my brothers went to prison. They're all Crips. They know Dr. Dre and them personally. They're the same age. They grew up together. So when I tell you Snoop Dogg had a interesting life coming to be a rapper, it's fascinating, because he shouldn't be here. He should be dead. And the fact that he's the way he is now, it's quite honorable how you made it.
And it seems like that they really want. It seems like that they really want to tackle his early career before he became fame, and it seems like it's way more of a fascinating story than in his later in career, when he starred in a lot of these like raunchy movies, and then he's done a lot of reality shows in his career.
Yeah. Right. If you remember the scene in Straight Outta Compton when he's interviewing in front of Suge Knight, you got to remember they're all Bloods, and he was a Crip, and he came into their neighborhood, into their studio talking shit. At any other time, he would have got shot, and Dr. Dre saved his life. So trust me, Snoop Dogg, in stature, he's tall and lean, but he was one of the craziest guys running the streets of Compton back in the day.
Now I want to watch it. Now you sold me on it, because I'm going to watch it now. At first I was like, I'm not going to watch this. It's just like, we know how he turns out. But like, now I'm like, if he wasn't here, I would have been like, who cares?
But they definitely mentioned on stage that they're going to start shooting this summer in LA, and they will drop the trailer next year at CinemaCon.
All right.
So I'm intrigued. I'm going to wait and see how it's going to look in the trailer. Okay. But anyway, what did you think about this news of the Snoop Dogg biopic movie? Are you interested in it? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Next up, for another Universal movie that they cover at the panel, I want to talk about the Edgar Wright's Werewolf movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, I thought that was the last. I thought that was the last topic.
No, I'm going to use that as the last topic for this one. I feel like this is worth covering.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Director Robert Eggers is getting back into the period horror genre with Werewolf. His latest movie after his hit 2024 creature featured Nosferatu, a first look at the 13th century werewolf tale, was shown during Universal in Focus feature presentation at CinemaCon, the annual convention for movie theater owners that's underway in Las Vegas. Werewolf hits in theaters on December 25th, exactly 2 years after Nosferatu. Eggers penned the script with his the Northman co-writer. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. John. Well, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Here's Aaron Taylor Johnson and Lily Rose Depp are re-teaming with Eggers after they starred in Nosferatu, as are William Dafoe and Ralph Ineson. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name again. I'm really terrible with names. The film's a long line teases that in the 13th century England, a mysterious creature stalks a foggy countryside as a local folklore becomes a terrifying reality for the villagers. Taylor Johnson stars as the Tedler lycanthrope, and the cast also includes Jack Morris, and actor. And here's the trailer that they shown at the Universal's panel. The trailer echoed Eggers' past movies with plenty of the black and white shots of the mauled corpses. Desecrated graves and frightened townfolks terrorized by an unseen beast. A nude Taylor Johnson convolves in the transforms into the werewolf, with the spit filling his fanged mouth, but his full monstrous look wasn't shown. After breaking out in Nosferatu, Depp is back and cements her status as a scream queen with several pain shrieks in Werewolf. I'm really intrigued by this because I'm a fan of Robert Eggers' work. I love what he did with The Witch. I love The Lighthouse. The Northman was one of his best. It's my second favorite of his movies. And I don't care what anybody else says. I really enjoyed Nosferatu. A lot of people shit on the design of Dracula with Bill Skarsgård. I understand it doesn't look that great, but I actually thought it was a really good adaptation and a good remake to that movie. I thought it was a really good period piece of wood, making it dark, gothic, disturbing of a horror. And I thought the daughter, Depp, who was basically the lead character, I thought she did a pretty good job. And her reteaming with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who was also in Nosferatu, I thought that's a great choice. And him playing the werewolf, I cannot wait to see it. They shown the trailer, and from what the footage is, it looks like it's going to be very graphic and very gothic looking. And seeing him going back to that period piece movie since The Witch in Nosferatu. And then he also did the period piece of The Lighthouse, which I thought it was a really chaotic movie, very disturbing as fuck. But Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson were incredible. And Willem Dafoe worked with him in a lot of those movies, and I can't wait to see him team up with him again. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this?
Robert Eggers is one of my favorite directors working today, so this news makes me very happy indeed. He has yet to make a bad movie, in my opinion. Like, Lighthouse is awesome. I love Nosferatu. I love The Witch. I will defend The Witch all day long. That movie is so creepy to me. I love Robert Eggers so much, and this whole thing I'll be there day one. I'll just be there day one.
And also, they're using the 4:3 aspect ratio for Werewolf. I think because they did the same thing for the Lighthouse movie.
Justice League, didn't they do that too?
Well, no, they did the same thing for the Lighthouse movie. It was in the 4:3 aspect ratio in black and white, and I thought it looked really great, going for more of the old school 1930s black and white monster flicks. But anyway, I want to pass it on to TJ. What did you think about this?
Hey man, period piece, werewolf, Anya Taylor-Joy. That's my groove right there. I like old movies, old silent werewolf movie when I was a kid growing up. And that's, to me, still are the best stories that never get tired of hearing about, because the more modern you make them or go back in time and make them, the werewolf is a fascinating story, and I absolutely love it. Can't wait.
What did you think, Jake?
All right. Well, first off, hey, did you see the private chat, by the way, I sent you? Just so you know. Save time. That's all I was just saying. To save time, just do that. And I love Robert Eggers. I love Nosferatu. And I'm excited because I did not like the Wolfman movie that Lee Whannell did. So to say you know I was like, this is probably going to be our Wolfman, and I'm like that he got Lily Rose Depp back to do this, be in this movie. I'm excited to see it. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's back. I'm really excited to see that Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to be the Wolfman, and I have a feeling it's going to be very dark and depressing, and there's going to be some uncomfortable nudity, and Willem Dafoe is going to have like some batshit crazy moments. But I'm all here for it because I really enjoyed Nosferatu and The Lighthouse, and I'm excited. So yeah, I can't wait. And Nosferatu is amazing. My only thing is I wish they would probably push the release date because it's coming out in December when like 1,000 other things are coming out. And I feel like no one's going to go watch this if it's out in December. So I think January would probably be a better spot for it. That's just me.
All right. What did you think about this news about the werewolf? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What else? We're gonna cover the MGM movie and I wanted to cover the Highlander movie for the reboot that Henry Cavill is in.
Yeah. Hey, you saw the private chat, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get this news up.
Highlander.
There can be only one.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Me too. The Highlander first footage unveils Henry Cavill's John Wick-esque action rave fight scene in Immortal Killers. Henry Cavill's Highlander reboot got a first look during Amazon's MGM's presentation at CinemaCon, the annual convention for the movie theater owners in Las Vegas. Filming is still underway, but CinemaCon attendees saw behind-the-scenes footage and some seriously brutal action sequences that echoed director Chad Stahelski's John Wick movies. There's a neon-drenched fight at a crowded rave, plus plenty of sword battles and motorcycle chases. Cavill's immortal character is revealed to have been born in 1518 and is forced to fight the fellow undying killers at the gathering, where only one survivor can be left alive. Filming will continue in Poland, in the Scottish Highlands, and Hong Kong. I will say I'm so freaking excited. Hearing the footage about this gets me more pumped because Chad Stahelski said that this movie is basically going to be John Wick with swords. And I've seen the Highlander movie. We did a watch party a couple of months back, and I really liked it. I won't say it's one of my favorites, but I can understand why it became a cult classic and it became a hit at that time. And I have a feeling, and I know this might be a hot take for people who are fans of the original. I'm not bagging on it. Don't get me wrong. But I will say that this movie could potentially be better than the original. And we've seen what Chad Stahelski has done with the John Wick franchise. Knows how to shoot choreographed action, knows how to be creative, and seeing Henry Cavill as the lead, which we don't see him in a lot of movies these days. I mean, he's been in a lot of Guy Ritchie movies, but I've seen him being in the Highlander is just fucking chef's kiss. And I've always thought he was one of my favorite Superman. I thought he should have got a little bit more, but hey, it is what it is. We can't have nice things, but that's just the way it is. But I'm so excited for his movie. He also got the Warhammer adaptation that he's supposed to work on with MGM for the Prime Video for series, and they've wrapped up the production for the Voltron movie. And I'm really excited of how confident they are for the Highlander reboot. I mean, I can't wait to see when we get a trailer in the next several months. But I want to pass it on to Ryan Cam. What did you think about this footage that they described?
Loved it. Loved everything described there. I love Chad Stahelski. I love all the John Wick movies. If this is John Wick with swords, like I said with the werewolf movie, I will be there day one. I love Cavill. Wrestler Drew McIntyre is going to be in there. Like, that's going to be just perfect. So, yeah, everything about this just says yes to me.
TJ, what did you think?
Just hearing the backdrop of what's going on behind the making of this movie made me excited. Henry Cavill had to learn several different fighting styles for this one movie. And the director said he mastered them all. Not learned them, mastered them. So that tells you there's a lot of care going on behind the scenes of this movie. And for them to phone in via, satellite, say, hey, we're in the middle of shooting, we're out of the country right now, but here's a little something. This is special, man. When you got to actually train for a role, I admire actors and actresses when they do stuff like that. And Henry, I can't wait.
Jake, what did you think?
I'm a huge Highlander fan. I love Highlander. Highlander is one of my favorite movies. I'm excited for this movie. When I heard that they're making, I love the Queen soundtrack. Who wants to live forever and give me the prize and like Princess of the Universe? Oh my god, I can't wait to. I hope the soundtrack's in this movie. I understand they said this like John Wick, and that excites me because if you really just take all the lore of John Wick and just put them as immortals, it makes sense. And I can't wait to see what they do with this movie. My only issue is I really hope that Kurgan, played by Dave Bautista, is a psychopath like he was in the movie. Like, I hope he's not. Like, I saw like set photos of him dressed like a priest, and I'm like, I hope it's because like he's taunting him like about his faith in God. I hope it's like him being a psycho. I hope it's like he's like a psychopath because he doesn't believe in nothing. He's a nihilist, and so I hope it's like that. I hope it's not just like, oh, he's a priest like that happened to become an immortal and he just has nothing left. I hope it's not like that. And so I can't wait to see what it is. I hope that's just one of the disguises. I'm a big fan of the Highlander lore, and I hope this movie is just a really good time. I hope it's not too much like the first movie. I hope it is somewhat different because I want to be able to go back and watch the old one, and I want to go back and watch this movie, and it has two different experiences. I hope it's not just a copy paste of the original. So.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that it won't do that. I think Chad Stahelski's going to have his own DNA, stay faithful from the original, but also have his own thing at the same time. But I'm so excited! This movie can get here fast enough. What did you think about the Highlander footage that they described at CinemaCon? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, the next MGM movie that they covered is the new Spaceballs 2 movie, and they showed a promo of Mel Brooks talking about the new title of the film. Well, let me share the screen. Spaceballs 2 is getting an official title at CinemaCon. Rick Moranis makes an appearance alongside with co-stars director Josh Greenbaum. Amazon MGM Studios unveiled an official title for the anticipated Spaceballs sequel, releasing in theaters on April 23rd, 2027. In a pre-taped video as part of Amazon MGM's CinemaCon presentation in Las Vegas on Wednesday, franchise architect Mel Brooks, who produced and returns to star in the new film, revealed that the title is apparently cheeky, the Spaceballs, the new one. Brooks couldn't make the presentation, he said, because he was seeing fish at a spear. He cut in on screen in the middle of a remarks from Rick Moranis, an actor making a comeback after many years away from the screen, who audiences are eager to hear from. Knowing this, Amazon never let it happen, and the actor, who also being interrupted by Josh Gad and via another pre-taped Keke Palmer, other cast members appearing on stage tonight alongside director Josh Greenbaum to tout the anticipated sequel, including Bill Pullman, Daphne Sagona, Senega, sorry if I'm butchering her name, Josh Gad, and Lewis Pullman. What else? Greenbaum called it in the honor of a lifetime to make a sequel to a comedic masterpiece. When asked about the working with a co-star, he has a personal relationship with Bill Pullman, deadpan that he was thrilled to collaborate with. Someone I've seen blossom into a very special young man. Of course, I'm talking about Josh Gad. Lewis Pullman said of his process in booking the sequel, it was a pretty rigorous process, took years. First I was born. Meanwhile, Sogonia said she was very happy to return. Should Amazon provide a giant trailer, massive pre-dime, and personal driver, McLean star chef walking in the closet for her luggage and more. Teaming up the presentation was Moranis' Darth Vader-like character, Dark Helmet, who in a pre-tape he said he's always dreamt of two things: to steal the air from Regina and open wide domestically on 4,800 screens. But anyway, what did you think about this whole news for this Spaceballs? I mean, personally, I'm really excited for them to do another Spaceballs spoof movie. I really love the original film. I watched it as a little kid, and I realized that they were making a spoof off of a Star Wars, and I thought they made it work. and it became one of the cult following. And it's kind of odd that they waited for so long for the sequel to get made. And it seems to me that they wanted to be leaning towards more like making fun of the whole the sequel trilogy for that Star Wars sequel trilogy. But I'm excited that Mel Brooks is coming back, and Josh Gad is going to be in it, and Bill Pullman Stun is going to be in it. He said it, and Mel Brooks said it in his video presentation, that it's still going to feel like the original film, but it's still going to be something new at the same time. But anyway, Ryan, what did you think about this new title called Spaceballs, the new one?
I am a little nervous because Spaceballs came out in 1987 and it is coming up on 40 years. So that's going to be a long time gap. But I am optimistic because, I mean, just take a look at Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. You have 40 years worth of material to comb through and to mock and to ridicule and to laugh at. So, like, this almost feels like it's gift wrapped for Mel Brooks to make something decently funny out of this. So, ultimately, I don't know because, like, I'm not 100% sure I feel super safe about it, but considering, like, how much of a parody the Disney Star Wars movies felt like by the end, they can surely do better.
TJ, what did you think about this?
A little concerned too, because 80s comedy spoof movies, that's hard to duplicate at this time that we're living in now, how social media is and how society is. Mel Brooks, wow, his sense and sensibility is old school, and hopefully he can pull it off. And the material is there. I will say that. I just hope it's not Eddie Murphy's Coming to America too.
Oh,
80s comedy brought the whole group back. Everybody came back, and it didn't work. The best thing was Wesley Snipes. Hopefully this is magic in the bottle again, but if Rick Moranis and everybody's coming back and it sucks, that's going to hurt my soul, man. So I'm definitely praying for this one. It's going to be tough. But
I will say one thing. I'm excited to see Rick Moranis coming out of retirement because he hasn't acted in a very long time. I loved him in
Ghostbusters.
I loved him in Ghostbusters movies. I loved him in Little Giants, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he was fantastic in Spaceballs. His comedic timing is priceless.
He's so good.
And him coming out of the retirement, I will agree that sometimes when they bring back comedic actors that haven't acted in a long time and bring back a beloved movie, a beloved classic, it doesn't always work out well. Like Coming to America 2 with Eddie Murphy, and it did not. And it was under like Amazon, and I think it was probably before MGM was able to merge with Amazon at the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jake, what did you think about this?
I love Spaceballs. Spaceballs is so fun. Like, especially, like, there's so many good jokes. Like, and I remember Mel Brooks said when he made the deal with George Lucas, he can never sell any merchandise from this movie. That George Lucas, that was the one rule. And so then they make a joke about it in the movie about Spaceballs, the t-shirt, Spaceballs, the breakfast, Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Kids love this thing. And I love, yogurt, Bartholomew, obviously you have Lone Star, who is the Han Solo of the movie. I'm a big fan, and of course, Darth Helmet is so funny in the movie, and I saw it a couple months ago, rewatched it, and I'm like, it's so good, and I'm a big fan of the movie and everything, and I'm really curious to see how they're going to do this. I hope it's good. I hope they just don't water it down because there's a lot of jokes in the movie that I know that are they're really edgy at the time, Yeah. One thing is that I like I always wondered what happened to Darth Helmet after they crashed on the Planet of the Apes planet, and they're like, he goes Spaceballs, and they goes, damn, there goes the neighborhood, and I was like, oh damn, like that, like the Spaceballs, because it's like the humans are coming into the apes territory. I thought that joke was such a funny joke, Planet of the Apes joke that I was like, oh my god, that's such a funny joke, but yeah, I mean, I'm really curious, and I think honestly, I hope that it's going to be a big hit. It's going to be a really good movie.
All right, what did you think about this Spaceballs news about the new title? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to get into this last movie for the panel that the MGM had covered. I wanted to cover the movie for that biopic movie called I Play Rocky.
Oh.
Amazon MGM brought a teaser of I Play Rocky, a drama about the true story behind the tumultuous making of the 1976 boxing classic Rocky. Anthony Apolio, sorry if, oh God, I'm really terrible with the names these days, Jesus. Best known for The Offer, portrays a young Sylvester Stallone, perfectly channeling his mumbling delivery, hunched over posture, and lumbering sweetness. Seriously, it's uncanny. The movie takes place long before Stallone was known as an on-screen action hero. Back in the 70s, he was a struggling actor with a partially paralyzed face and a speech impediment. He wrote the script to Rocky, but refused to sell the rights to unless he got to portray the lead character. Rocky revolves around a small-time boxer who gets the opportunity of a lifetime to take on the reigning world heavyweight champion, Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers. The log line for I Play Rocky describes Stallone's unshakable belief that he wasn't just meant to write Rocky. He was meant to be Rocky Balboa. Given its November release date, I Play Rocky looks like it's being positioned as a possible awards contender. Unfamiliar with the behind-the-scenes drama, the trailer that Amazon MGM shared shows Stallone struggling to break through as an actor and turning into screenwriting to create his own opportunities. He comes up with a killer story, but his instance on portraying the title role leads him to turn down six-figure deals. Instead, he gets a chance to have the movie made for under $1 million, with the studio boss rooting for him to go behind schedule so he can have him yanked from the picture and replaced with an A-lister. And it's a quote, "It's a movie for anyone who has ever been naive and crazy enough to make their dream a reality," Peter Fraley, the film's director, said while introducing the teaser. The ultimate underdog story, Rocky became that year's biggest box office hit and eventual Oscar Best Picture winner over the likes of All President's Men and Taxi Driver. The original Rocky spawned several sequels as well as the Creed spinoff series led by Michael B. Jordan. Not everything involving the kind-hearted slugger worked. There was also a Broadway musical that has been justified forgotten. Farrelly is best known for directing the Oscar-winning Green Book. Impolio is starring alongside Stephen James as Weathers, as well as Anna Sophia Robb, Matt Dillon, PJ Byrne, Tracy Letts, and Jay Bless. Anyway, for my thoughts of them,
that they don't put his entire filmography. They only put like fuck. Hold on a second. But no, sorry, someone's cooking in there, and that's the fire alarms keep going off because the fucking fire alarms are so.
Apparently, the smoke alarm agrees with you.
But no, I'm just saying it's such bullshit. Like they don't put from the director of Dumb and Dumber, from the director of There's Something About Mary, from the director of Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah, they don't put that shit. They only put the only good movie he's made. They don't put like the movies the B movies.
They seemingly wanted to credit it for a film that won in Best Picture movie called Green Book with Viggo Mortensen and
the Three Stooges.
Yeah, and
he's got a movie out this weekend with Mark Wahlberg called Balls Up on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, I guess they just don't want to consider this because this biopic movie is now considered to be more of an Oscar contender, and the actor who's playing Stallone in this whole biopic drama of how he became the fame, and because he was a struggling actor, he was very poor, and Stallone told about this story in this documentary about if I'm going to sell the rights, but I wanted to be the lead man as Rocky, and they did not want him to be the lead man in Rocky movie. In this movie, like won for Best Picture for the Rocky film. And I thought it was a fantastic movie, and I thought what he did with that film was very well done. And I'm excited to see what this actor, Anthony, to portray Stallone. They showed photos of him. There's a photo on the behind the scenes doing that whole training montage of the sequence in the Rocky movie. But they're really just showing you the behind the scenes of the making of the film. And I think that it actually looked pretty good. And honestly, I think he might do a good job, but I haven't seen the trailer yet. And I don't even know when this movie comes out. Do you know?
next year, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, next year. That's what I thought. Yeah, this guy, yeah, he definitely resembles the young Stallone, and it got me intrigued.
The Italian Stallion. Are they going to show him doing porn? Because that's where he got the name, the Italian Stallion.
Maybe that is a possibility. Ryan, what did you think about this? About this new movie called I Play Rocky?
I'm a sucker for a biopic, so I am looking forward to this. And I also have a great amount of respect for Sylvester Stallone. So yeah, like you've already got me nailed right there. And like you talk about the porn stuff, I'm like, I wonder who's gonna play Roger Corman, because like he was in some Corman movies, like just like Corman movies with Talia Shire before Rocky. But I don't know if that's gonna get touched on or
I wonder
not.
who's going to play Apollo Creed. That's what I'm wondering.
I think they already mentioned that.
You did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that he was cast already.
Yeah, they already cast him.
Is it Damson Idris?
I think. Let me see. Yeah, Stephen James. Stephen James is going to be playing Carl Weathers' character. Carl Weathers. Anyway, TJ, what did you think?
Oh, that guy from.
I'm a sucker for an underdog story. Rocky was a phenomenon, and the real life struggle behind getting that movie made is a great boost to your ego when you're a writer, because you never want to give up your script unless you have some personal stake in it, some skin in the game. And what Sylvester Stallone did way back then, and how the movie came out, it's got to be one of the greatest triumphs of all time. And Rocky is no different. It's the greatest underdog movie of all time. So it goes hand in hand. This sounds phenomenal, and it's based on a true story. Sign me up.
Jake, what did you think?
I'm a big fan of Rocky. I love the Rocky movies. Rocky. By the way, Rocky 3. They ripped off the Dark Knight Rises. Ripped off Rocky 3 because that's literally the plot of the Dark Knight Rises is Rocky 3. Like Christopher Nolan, I guess, is a big Rocky 3 fan because him and his brother are like, that's the exact same plot of the Dark Knight Rises. If you watch Rocky 3, Mr. T is Bane. Like in the whole story follows in the same structure as the Dark Knight Rises, and so yeah, I'm a big fan of the Rocky films. And I look, okay, it's weird that every time he loses in a movie, the movie gets nominated for an Academy Award, but when he wins in a movie, he never gets nominated. Like for instance, Creed, they lost the fight, nomination. Rocky 1, he wins Best Actor. Rocky Balboa gets nominated. Rocky 2, he wins nothing. Rocky 3, he wins nothing. Rocky 4, he wins nothing. Rocky 5, which nobody even saw Rocky 5 because like Rocky 5 was awful. Like there's not even a boxing match in the street fight at the end where he's like, let me fight you in the street.
Go for it.
I'll sue.
Awful is a bit. Awful is a strong word. It's bad, but it's not awful.
Well, I mean, it's not very good, but I love the Rocky movies, and I can't wait to see how they make this movie. Although I do think it's funny that it's the director of Dumb and Dumber, and they're trying to downplay it, like, oh, it's the director of Dumb and Dumber, and the director of that Ricky Stenicki, and in the what's that, the Balls Up movie that's currently on Amazon Prime. Yeah, they're downplaying that aspect, but they're just like, oh, Peter Farrelly, the Green Book, like, and then when you look, you're like, oh, he's only made one movie. No, he's actually made a lot of movies. Just they're not that many. Only one is actually got a nomination because the rest are all comedies, and some of them are very awful. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see because I think this movie will be a really good movie, and I'm hoping that for the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you think about this upcoming biopic movie, I Play Rocky? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now I'm going to get on to the WB panel, and let me see. The first stuff I wanted to cover the 7-minute opening sequence from Dune Part 3 that really got me like more pumped for this film, and which is one of my most anticipated film of the year. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Timothy Chalamet's Paul Atreides may be firmly ensconced as the how do you pronounce? No, the other one.
Padish.
Yeah, Padish Emperor, but thrilling new footage from Doom Part 3 that Warner Brothers and Legendary released at CinemaCon on Tuesday makes clear ruling the galaxy comes at a great cost, particularly if that means you can't run off into the sunset with a woman you actually love, Achani, played by Zendaya, and instead have to be trapped into a marriage of a political necessity to Florence Pugh's Princess Aurelon, if I'm saying her name right. And your followers have launched a Jayad in your name that's causing the body count to climb to the dizzying heights. Director Denis Villeneuve and three of his stars, Charmaine Zendaya and Jason Momoa, took to the stage in Las Vegas to introduce a 7-minute long clip of the opening scene of Doom Part 3, and things get violent, loud, and deadly fast. Doom Part 3 picks up 17 years after the prior installments, and Charmaine said that his Paul has become his worst vision. At one point in the footage, Momoa's character tells Paul, "You have conquered the galaxy. You have destroyed thousands of worlds. I think you are way beyond redemption." Wow, that's got it really heavy. Even though Paul's life has gotten more complicated and his hold over the Fremen has grown more toxic. Doom Part 3 promises the same epic sweep of the first two films in the franchise. Clearly, Villeneuve knows how to turn into impenetrable and famously difficult, literally material into something truly cinematic and sweeping. Doom Part 3 brings back many cast members from the previous films, such as Rebecca Ferguson, Charlotte Rampling, Javier Bardem, and gives some performers, normally Anya Taylor-Joy, substantially more to do. There's also some new additions like Robert Pattinson as the villainous Sectail, and one notable return, Momoa resurrected as Gala, which is supposed to be Duck in Idaho.
By the way, we're journalists, and they spelt return wrong. By the way, that is a professional outlet. They spelt return wrong.
No, like, what the hell am I reading here?
E's in the return. I'm like, there's no E's in return. There's only one E in return. There's like two. They put three E's. There's only one. I'm like, return. I'm like, okay, first off, whoever typed that, they fucked up. And I don't
proofread.
I think they were trying to hurry up and get it
errors.
out there.
Oh no.
Typing. Apparently they don't have spelling error, spelling app or not, because it's like returns, and I'm like, no one proofread that, and I'm like, the sad thing is that's why magazines are always better, because you have to proofread everything before it goes to print.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't proofread. They just put return.
Brought to you by Grammarly.
Go up to the person who wrote the article. Go up to the person. I'm gonna find that. I'm like, all right, go down. What's the person's name? 2 people wrote this, and neither one of them proofread it. No, neither one of them. Rebecca, Brent, but neither one of you proofread this, and you put 2 E's in return.
It's outrageous.
And I'm sure they have a degree. That's
and not one Grammarly subscription between them. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, they showed the footage of the rain sequences with Javier Bardem's character Stilgard slaughtering those people on that planet, and it was raining on that planet. I don't know what it was, but they even described that this is essentially going to be like D-Day on steroids. That is going to be fucking insane. You see a glimpse of it in the trailer itself, and I'm just curious to see that in context, and I believe that's supposed to be like the opening of the movie, basically. I mean, what did you think about this, Jake?
I'm so fucking excited for this movie. Like, I'm ready. I'm like, I said, like, that who I chant. Like I said, literally, when I heard that they were literally at the con, just like doing that chant, going, "I love more." I was getting so amped, like ready for. Like, I want to go fight somebody. I want to go fight somebody. Like, you know what? 7-minute footage of, like, they said it's Saving Private Ryan on steroids. And Saving Private Ryan, the opening Saving Private Ryan when they're on the boats, that's intense. So can you imagine that? Just like the one take shot where they're just like running. Can you imagine people getting gunned down and everything? Like, they were describing them trying to put up like a fort shield and then just getting gunned down left and right. Like, that's going to be intense to see, especially if you watch it in IMAX. You're just going to be like, oh my God, you're going to be jizzing all over yourself. You know what's like. You're going to just be like, explosions everywhere.
In my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Even Charmaine said it at the CinemaCon panel that he noted that he grown up on set with these movies with Dune. Like we often forget that this was like prior to the pandemic when they made the first movie, and they put this out in the film during the day-to-day release on HBO Max, and it was lucky
it
enough.
was one of 3 movies that did well on
Yeah.
HBO Max.
One of them
three
did
movies.
pretty well. Doom Part 2 took it into a whole new level. It took them a few years to make the next movie, and Denis Villeneuve even mentioned like, "Hey, I made the first 2 movies for me, but for this one, Doom Part 3 is made for the fans." And hearing that just gets me more excited because I trust this vision. I think that trailer is going to be on the next level, and I understand. And even the IMAX of the 70mm IMAX tickets have sold out. They sold out the moment that they put out the pre-ticket sales, like 8 months.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not BSing you. Like they,
No way.
Coming up on So You Think You Can Live with Brian.
Well, I think I'm talking about the 70mm IMAX screenings, not the regular theaters, if that's what you were wondering. No, it had a similar circumstances with the Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey when they did the pre-ticket sales for the IMAX 70 millimeter screenings. And yeah, Denis Villeneuve is going to deliver a whole new level. He brought up that there's going to be a lot of some changes from the books of Doom Messiah, and it's no surprise because this is supposed to be now the end of the journey for Paul Atreides, and it kind of just feels like this movie is supposed to be more where when you have too much, there's more consequences when you have too much power as the Dark Emperor, and he's known as the Dark Emperor of the universe. And I believe that he's supposed to be more on the road to redemption. And hearing that quote from Jason Momoa's character in the footage saying, "You've murdered 60 billion people across the fucking universe, across other planets. You're beyond redemption." Seeing that scene in context, I can't wait. And I have not read Doom Messiah, but I wanted to move it to Ryan. Give me your thoughts on this one.
So, yeah, I mean, Denis Villeneuve is yet to miss as a filmmaker. I love both of the Dune movies. This whole thing, I'm salivating at the prospect, just salivating at the prospects of all of this. So, this is one of those ones where if they stick this landing, we're talking like greatest trilogy of all time territory. Not the greatest, but we're certainly in that conversation.
Oh my God! Like,
Play it. I don't care. I'll stand by it. I love these movies.
I'm totally with you. I totally with you. If this actually sticks the landing, which I believe it will, yeah, it's definitely going to be in the conversation to be one of the greatest trilogies of all time. 100%. But anyway, we'll go on, Ryan.
I saw on Instagram the other day, someone noted just how, like, in a subtle, like, shot of, like, just how, like, the following for Paul Atreides has grown from humbly in Doom Part 1 and then Part 2 and then Part 3. And it's like, it's big, bigger, and then biggest. And then the title, like, and he climbs those stairs and you just see an ocean of people. And he goes, yeah! And they just all go the Inoki fist, like, yeah! With them.
He has a true fucking army. That just shows you, like, dude, he's gonna mess some shit up. And it's not gonna end well. It's gonna end very badly, like very bloody for Paul Atreides.
To quote the poster from The Social Network, or to paraphrase rather, you don't kill 60 billion people without making a few enemies.
Yeah, and I believe that you told me, you brought this up, Jake, about Robert Pattinson's character is going to be the character that's going to try to overthrow Paul. And I believe, you read the book Doom Messiah.
People think he's like the villain, but no, you actually, if you are in his shoes, Paul's the villain. He's actually the good person. He's the rebel trying to, like, literally, like, he's a monster. You're trying to stop a monster. Like, like, even though us, the audience, are like, we're with Paul, but really, Paul's Darth Vader. And he's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I wanted to bring that part up. When I brought up in my trailer reaction that he is the version of the Darth Vader, and one person brought up in the comments trying to argue with me that they're not the same person. They had Paul's prophecy was fake and Anakin was real. Okay, I don't care whether it's fucking real or not, because if you've seen the patterns, Literally, Paul has been trained by the Warriors all of his.
Hey, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
I mean, Paul's character has been burdened by this whole prophecy, even though it was fake, and he knew later on that was fake, and he was using it to take control over the government. The Bene Gesserit like invented like that fake prophecy for over thousands of years. I get that, but the thing is, he was trained by the Warriors, and he also went down the dark path that he was supposed to be the hero of their own people, and also he had the love, and he had to make the sacrifice because out of love, out of fear and love, which what Anakin had done. And it started this whole civil war across the galaxy, which Paul has started. And also Johnny had twins, basically like the Luke and Leia, and she died from childbirth, outlived the mother.
Dune came out later in the Dune came out before Star Wars, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, so don't sit there and try to tell me that they're not similar. Because George Lucas pretty much took a lot of inspirations from that character. Sure, there's a few key differences. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But really, there's a lot of parallels between these two. And he has a little bit of the Daenerys Targaryen, too, at the same time. But anyway, I wanted to pass it on to TJ. What did you think about the whole footage that they described for Dune Part 3?
I think it sounds phenomenal. I could be honest. I'm in the minority. I'm not a big Dune fan. When I was a kid, the original movie I used to watch all the time on repeat on HBO because all summer long was on HBO. Visually, I think would be the most beautiful film this year. I'm not really big on the story. The direction, I think, is going to be absolutely perfect. The cast is phenomenal. It's just the story doesn't do anything for me personally, but good filmmaking is good filmmaking. Can't deny that. And this probably will be the best directed and best looking film of the year, period, hands down.
Awesome. But anyway, what did you think about this whole Dune Part 3 of this footage that they described at CinemaCon? Did this really increase your excitement level, or like were you just sold and you're going to go see it no matter what? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. But I wanted to get on to the next WB that I feel like we should cover that it doesn't get talked about enough. And it's the first trailer that they showed at CinemaCon called the upcoming DC movies Clayface. Yeah, that's something that I'm really excited, and I feel like this doesn't get talked about it enough. This said from Variety reported that the first trailer for DC's body horror thriller Clayface was screened at CinemaCon. Tom Rhys Harris stars as the shape-shifting Batman villain Clayface, whose real name is Matt Hagen. Matt starts out as a struggling actor whose face is disfigured and then undergoes a scientific transformation that turns his body entirely into clay. The trailer shows Matt sitting in a hospital bed with a bandaged, bloody face. He's attacked by a knife-wielding assassin and has mysterious chemicals pumped into him, giving him his powers. Matt's face changes repeatedly, showing him without an eye or mouth at times. At one point, he wipes away his entire face. From what this trailer described, dude, James Gunn was clearly not joking that this is going to feel different, that this is literally a horror movie, a body horror film. And I know that we're going to get a trailer at some point because this movie is supposed to be coming out in October.
Wrapped. So, I mean, they're probably...
Yeah, they wrapped. I mean, they're in post-production right now. It's supposed to come out this October. And you got a director that made Speak No Evil, the remake that with James McAvoy that came out a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago. I stand corrected.
Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. And I thought that was really good. It was so good. And you got Mike Flanagan as a screenwriter, which Mike Flanagan has been killing it when it comes to horror movies. And he's been on a roll doing a lot of these Stephen King adaptations. Like
right now, he's directing The Detective Cyst.
The what?
The Detective Cyst.
What's that?
The Exorcist, but you know the cops, the detective.
Oh yeah,
it's called The Detective Cyst.
I was like, what the fuck kind of movie you're talking about?
The Detective Cyst.
Yeah, he's been working on the reboot of The Exorcist. He's been on a roll.
The Exorcist SVU.
I can't wait to see this in context of this old trailer that they described. I believe that they might show this in front of Comic-Con. I don't know if they'll come to Comic-Con, but it would make sense to debut that trailer there at that.
Probably have a trailer before Comic-Con because
maybe they might show the trailer in front of. That would make more sense to promote the movie. But Ryan, what did you think about this whole the trailer footage that they described at CinemaCon?
It sounds absolutely phenomenal. And some of my favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes are the two-part Feet of Clay like
Mhm.
episodes. I just, if Flanagan's able to capture at least a tiny amount of that, then yeah, I'm gonna be all for that.
Awesome. What did you, TJ? What did you think?
One of my most anticipated films. DC got the best villains, and this guy is no exception. And just the description, definitely it's going to be a red band trailer, I assume. So any movie it plays in front of has got to be rated R that comes out in the near future. But the description of an eye missing or something, I can't even quantify what that looks like in real time. I've only seen it, in animated style. I can't wait to see the story brought to life and the CG and special effects to bring this thing as a real life character. I mean, normally we root against the villain, but I have a feeling this time I'm going to be rooting for this guy. He gets dealt a bad hand, and you go mad, you go crazy. What do you expect? I love the description of this trailer.
Awesome. What did you think, Jake?
I was not a big Clayface guy growing up. I mean, I like playing it in the Arkham games, and I know people love him in Harley Quinn, which I've only seen the first season. I'm a big fan of, like, I did see, when Mike Flanagan has said the inspiration for this movie is from Batman the Animated Series episode Feet of Clay. He said he heavily drew inspiration from that movie.
Wow.
So I'm excited. That made me go back and rewatch it. And I'm like, if he does it like this, then I'm sold. I understand some people are still wondering, like, how does this connect to the bigger DCU at hand? And I'm curious myself to find out. And I'm excited. I mean, some people say it's described as The Substance in a way, like it's like the movie The Substance, and that kind of has me a little bit excited. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And yeah, I'm hoping for the best. And I hope that this is a different Clayface than the one we've already seen in Creature Commandos, who is just a sexist asshole who kills a woman and then spends all her money on porn and Xbox. That if you ever watch Creature Commandos, that shit was hilarious. And she's because Clayface disguises as a woman, and she's like, the first day goes to her class and is like, "What do we teach? Amazon, Wonder Woman's homeland. What do they have in Themyscira? Lesbians. Wah wah wah!" And they're all lesbians. They're just like, "What the fuck are we doing here? Like, what?" And then just goes home and spends money on porn and cigarettes and Xbox games. And I'm like, in what world is this a real thing? This is not that Clayface. This is Matt Hargan's Clayface. That's why Basil Carlo. There's two Clayfaces in DC. There's Basil Carlo, and then Matt Hargan, which Matt Hargan should have been the one in Creature Commandos, and Basil Carlo should have been because he's the actor. But I understand they're swapping it since Basil Carlo's already appeared and died in Creature Commandos. So I'm curious to see what's going on, but I'm very happy to see what's going on.
Anyway, what did you think about the Clayface trailer that they showed at CinemaCon? Are you more excited for it after hearing this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, I'm going to get into the last of the WB panel. I wanted to cover the Supergirl, but I feel like it's not necessary.
Supergirl's already been like...
we don't really need that. It's not necessary. It's literally a couple of months in the corner. So I want to cover the hunt for Gollum of the couple of the casting, mostly Jamie Dornan as Aragorn, as the young Aragorn in the Hunt for Gollum movie. Middle-earth came to Las Vegas as part of Warner Brothers CinemaCon presentation Tuesday. The studio revealed several cast members for the upcoming The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, directed by Andy Serkis. It is set to release in theaters on December 17th, 2027. In addition to helming the film, Serkis stars Gollum/Smeagol. Ian McKellen is back as Gandalf. Elijah Wood returns as Frodo Baggins. And Lee Pace reprises his role as Thranduil. Newcomers to the Lord of the Rings series include Kate Winslet as Margot and Leo Whedell as Halvard. Jamie Dornan will play Strider, who later revealed to be Aragorn in the original novel. To this news with the casting of Jamie Dornan, which he was probably best known for that 50 Shades of Grey. And I never expected him to play the role of Aragorn in this movie at all. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his work lately, but I think the one film that what was that one film that was in the black and white film that Jamie Dornan was in? I cannot remember what movie he was in. I would have had to look that up because I know. Yeah, Belfast. I thought what he did was the scene stealer. If you watch Belfast, you should. It's a fantastic movie, and he's incredible in the film. And I never expected him to play the character Aragorn. I still wish they would have got Viggo Mortensen. I know that he said that he didn't want to play it because he's getting way too old, so they had to cast a younger actor. I thought they were just going to get an unknown actor to play Aragorn in the movie in The Hunt for Gollum. But getting Jamie Dornan, you know what? I'm not against it. I think he'll do a great job, and he's an interesting choice. I mean, I'm not jumping up and down. He's not my first choice, but I'm still going to be a little bit cautiously optimistic for The Hunt for Gollum because lately some of Andy Serkis's work as a director, I just don't think he's that. I just don't consider him as a great filmmaker yet. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Farm?
What?
You're not excited for Animal Farm?
Hell no! It looked terrible. You look me in the eye with a straight face and tell me you're excited for that movie.
How was that second trailer that they showed at CinemaCon was really good. Okay, I'm just gonna say.
Okay, fair enough. But for me, I saw that trailer and it didn't do it for me. But maybe the movie might be good. I might be wrong about that. The movie can actually be a big surprise. But I wanted to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about the casting choice of Aragorn?
Oh, you all know my stance on these Lord of the Rings movies, so I'll just keep it short and sweet. I don't care who they cast. It's gonna be bad. TJ, on to you.
Boo, you whore.
I
You can
expect
boo
you
me
to
all
follow
you
that.
want. You can boo me all you want. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Unfortunately, man, studios keep going to the well. When you do something that's perfect and win all those awards, you got to stop. Joker 2 should have taught you something. And studios, they don't care, man. They just care about money. They don't care about art. They don't care about preserving things. Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy of all time. You keep going to the well with these other stories. Actors get too old. You bring in other actors, but some actors return.
Ian McKellen's 86 years old, by the way.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll wait till the final product, but they had a picture of him and Viggo side by side. I can see why they picked him. He does have a similar look, jawline and everything. So we'll see what happens, but stop going to the well, Hollywood, but they can't help themselves. They chase that almighty dollar.
And there's there's this obscure deal that they have to make a certain amount of Lord of the Rings movies per year, or one every so often. So I get that. I am not a rube. I understand why these must happen. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah, that animated movie didn't do shit the other year. Remember?
Yeah, but they basically
and I liked
had
that movie. I thought that movie was actually kind of good. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Jake, what did you think?
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and yeah, I understand why people look at. They released Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, re-released it like this year, and it did well. I mean, it got in the top 5. Yeah, because I mean, it made a pretty penny. I mean, so people were like, "Hey, it beat some of the newer movies that were in theater, like 28 years later, The Bone Temple. It beat Lord of the Rings. It beat, I think, at number 2 at the box office. It beat a movie from 2001. Beat a movie that came out in 2026. That's how crazy people love Lord of the Rings. And look, okay, like you can always make the joke, like I was making like 50 Shades of Strider, like you said, like I told the guys off camera, I was like, I'm expecting Strider to like just to tie up Kate Winslet, just like go BDSM on her with like, his sword stuff, like in 50 Shades style. But no, yeah, I'm excited to see this movie. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, and like Andy Serkis, yeah, he's going to be directing it, but you really think Peter Jackson's not going to be there supervising? I mean, come on. If Andy Serkis like messes up, he's just going to say, "All right, you're done. I'm stepping in." But
Peter Jackson ain't did nothing in a long time either. When he tried, it didn't work out.
I mean, the last movie he did was the Hobbit movie, but he did over to make that documentary, "Thou Shalt Not Grow Old."
Yeah.
But like I said, he's like, I mean, look, I'm excited for it. Peter Jackson.
Well, to be honest, that documentary was just more of a remastered of that video archive of that war footage.
Yep.
But I have faith
And
in Peter Jackson. I have
that
faith
movie
in
was
Andy
great, for the record.
I just hope. Yeah, I understand people scared because Andy. I mean, look, some people like the Venom movie he made, the Let There Be Carnage.
I thought it was better than the first one, but it was still shit.
So I mean, people have faith in Andy Serkis. I mean, like they wouldn't give him this movie. I mean, Peter Jackson wouldn't give him this, but Andy was the second unit director on the Hobbit movies.
It sounds more like a favor because of the character he played.
I have a theory that Peter Jackson's giving him this because he's going to direct the second, the one that's a sequel to Lord of the Rings, the one that Stephen Colbert is coming out with.
Yeah,
I think he's going to direct that one, and he said, "Look, I want to direct the sequel to Lord of the Rings since that's my baby. You can do the Hunt for Gollum since you're Gollum."
But the thing is that they're going to have to wait and see how well it does for the Hunt for Gollum. If it's really well loved, then yeah, they'll consider having him directing it. But if it's shit, they're going to say no. They'll pass it on to maybe Peter Jackson to direct that sequel. It would make a lot of sense.
No, I'm saying Peter Jackson will probably direct the sequel. Andy Serkis is only going to direct the frickin' what's it called, the Hunt for Gollum. Peter Jackson's probably already lined up to direct it. He's probably because like Sean Ashton's apparently in talks to return for the sequel, and so is the guy Billy Boyd and what's his name, Dominic. They're in talks right now to reprise their roles as Mary Pippin and them.
Well, I'm not surprised that those guys will be coming back, but I already know. Yeah, but we already know that most of the stuff is going to be focusing on Sam's kid, the daughter or something. That's
you could tell the internet's basically like I saw the internet the second they announced that. So you can see the first comment was someone saying, "Well, they're trying to outshit Rings of Power," and I'm like, first off, this is a story that Tolkien did, so basically, and like so it's not their fault. And honestly, people want a sequel. This could be the Force Awakens for Lord of the Rings fans. Okay, like a sequel,
but better,
yeah. So I'm just saying, wait, okay. And if Peter Jackson returns to direct this, and you got Sam and his this story, I'm like, this could be a great story. And on top of that, they're taking some stuff that was supposed to be in Fellowship of the Ring that they never got to do because of timing, and they're putting it in this story. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And obviously Elijah Woods will not be in that movie.
No, they're not going to put him back.
And Ian McKellen won't because this is a sequel and they die or they go away.
They go off to the Grey Havens to live off and die off in there.
So yeah, I'm excited. But the Hunt for Gollum has me excited. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm one of the people in the middle. I'm a little cautiously optimistic, even though it's not a film that I asked for. But maybe when we see a trailer, because they start production very soon. They're literally right around the corner.
They start shooting in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah, they're ready to go.
Wow.
TJ, you and I are gonna live long enough to see the Lord of the Rings, the great shit of Aragorn in the woods.
Hey Ryan,
look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
They're just taking pages out of obscure books, like it's gonna be like Aragorn's bowel movements. It's like gonna be like
Scott.
It's gonna be Frodo.
You just don't get it, do you? You don't.
Frodo dealing with erectile dysfunction. Like it's just going to be it's going to become even more of a parody than it is now.
Yeah, this is a stretch.
I don't know what you're saying, buddy. Fuck you. Fuck me.
No, I got one more thing I will do for Ryan.
I'm like, you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go.
But that's going to be the last part. But anyway, what did you think about the casting choice of Aragorn? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you fucking completely disagree with Ryan? You want to shit on him? I'm just fucking dude. I'm just kidding.
Ryan how wrong he is.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't bully him. I respect his opinion.
Okay?
Like, don't take any of that I said seriously. That was a joke. But anyway, let us know what you really thought about the whole casting of the Hunt for Gollum if it increases your excitement level. But now, with away from the WB panel, I'm going to get onto the Sony panel, and it's going to be like a few movies that I want to cover. The first off is going to be the Beyond the Spider-Verse that we waited like nearly now almost 4 years. By the time this movie comes out, it'd be like 4 years since Across the Spider-Verse.
You're 4 years back. Back in 2023, when this movie came out, the second one, DC was still under Walter Hamada.
Yeah,
Actually,
it was. It was under AT&T.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into the official synopsis for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Haunted by Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society and betrayed by his friends, Miles finds himself in the darkest corners of the Spider-Verse in search of a way home, knowing that his family has been not only fractured, but endangered by his calling. It's a race against the clock for Miles to travel across the wildest regions of the time and space to fight for and reunite everything he holds most dear. And they definitely showed the footage at CinemaCon that it was supposed to be like the beginning of the movie of him breaking free, confronting the Prowler Jr., his doppelganger from another universe. So this movie is literally going to pick up right where it left off from the Cross the Spider-Verse. And Sony has officially put out a still image of this of the movie. You got this kind of looks to me that this is going to have a flashback sequences between Aaron Davis, who is the Prowler, and this is supposed to be in the original Miles' universe about their young days, and he talks about his history with his father before he became a cop, and that's supposed to be the Miles' dad, the younger version of him. So it looks like we're going to have some flashback sequence from judging from the still image itself. There's the fight sequences with Miguel O'Hara and Miles. They look like they're going to have a little bit of the second round since the last film. And there's a little bit of the scene between Miles and his dad. And then there's Spider-Punk, which I thought Spider-Punk was one of the scene stealers. I love that character. I thought he was such a great addition, and him coming back to this fold, I cannot wait. And I'm really am so excited that it just bums me out that we waited so long. I mean, I know they had to rework a lot of the stuff from this movie, even though that they were originally it was supposed to come out a year after Across the Spider-Verse. It left us on a big cliffhanger, and there's been like I don't even know the whole behind the scenes drama. And I'm pretty sure that Jake will point that out. But I'm just can't wait till we get a trailer, and this is supposed to be coming out in the summer of 2027, which is definitely going to be another great year for comic book movies. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about this whole footage that they described and showing the still images? Are you really excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse now that we waited this long?
Yeah, I love both of the Spider-Verse movies, so this all just sounds like more of the direction I thought they were going to go when that cliffhanger happened. So, yeah, I wanted this movie to come out a whole lot sooner, but they're taking their time with it, and you know what? Lord and Miller and all that creative team can take all the time they'd like to because they have earned it.
And I think that they laid off a lot of the animation department or something. I don't know if that's true or not.
Disney.
You can correct.
No, was that Disney?
I don't know. Maybe it might have been Disney, but and I'm someone who was a big fan of those first two movies. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was a big surprise hit at that time, and it won an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. And one of the best teams with Phil Ward and Chris Miller involved in the project. Across the Spider-Verse got even better. The only thing that pissed me off was the cliffhanger. And I at the time I actually believed that we were going to get a movie a year out, but then they took a big setback and trying to give us a proper story. But
Haley
they even
Steinfeld
said
was
that,
telling the truth. She says, "I never even shot." She was telling the truth when she said, "We haven't even shot nothing yet for the movie."
Yeah, and for them to go out of their way to announce that they were going to release it 1 year apart was so stupid. Like, no, you haven't even shot anything yet, and it hasn't happened. So why would you do that? It's so ridiculous. And they even said that they confirmed that this is definitely going to be very emotional, very dark, but this is going to be the ending of Miles Morales' journey. And I grew to love that character since the first movie. He continues to get better and better. I love the Gwen Stacy's character, who became a major role in the second one. It was much of her movie as much as Miles Morales' movie. And seeing how this unfolds, and we're going to have the returning characters with Spider-Man Noir, and then we're going to have a return of Kingpin, which they confirmed that Kingpin's going to be returning, since we haven't seen him since the first film, which it was going to happen at some point, because what his character had a lot of layers. He's the one who caused this whole opening up in a dimensional portal, because he wanted to bring back Vanessa and the son, if you know about it in the first film. But I want to pass it on to TJ. What did you think about this whole synopsis, and does this increase your excitement level for Beyond the Spider-Verse?
I'm super excited, and I agree with my man here. Take your time. From my understanding, they're using a new style of animation along with the one they have done before. So they're upping the ante of creativity and new animation styles. So, hey, I'll wait as long as it takes because the first two movies are perfect. They're the best Spider-Man movies ever made. And, you know, Miles Morales is a fantastic character, man. The family dynamic, almost like him better than Peter Parker's story. It's fascinating. So take your time, do it right. The music's been perfect, and the animation is just it's glorious on the big screen. It's like just everybody's ideas thrown together and it make the most perfect blend. So I'm super excited about this, and the darker the better. So we'll see what happens.
Even James Gunn said that Into the Spider-Verse is his favorite superhero film of all time, which I was like, wow, that's an interesting choice from for your favorites list. Yeah, I love the animation. The animation is fantastic. It's like it's literally bringing the comic books to life, like, and coming straight out of it. And the way that they pulled the animation department, it really worked for the tone of the movie. It should never have worked, but it did, and it was fantastic. But I want to pass it on to Jake. What did you think?
If there is such thing as a perfect trilogy of movies, if this third one sticks the landing, this will be like the perfect trilogy of movies. Like, how rarely do you get a movie that all three movies are considered perfect? You know, and I know some people like Matt would consider the Dark Knight trilogy not a perfect trilogy because he doesn't like the third one. But I would say this would be considered the perfect trilogy of movies if the third one sticks the landing. Because even Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy, the third one, even though I like the third one, it has a lot of people don't consider that a great movie. So I mean, and I don't think even the Holland trilogy is a great trilogy. I mean, there's some I think a lot of people had issue with the second one. So I think honestly, this might be the first Spider-Man trilogy to be a perfect trilogy. So, and the fact is, I loved Into the Spider-Verse. I remember watching it, and I remember loving the Spider-Bell song that they had released online, and I remember I had a great time. And I certainly love the sequel, and there's one of my favorite moments is when Miles is talking with his dad as Spider-Man when they're sitting there on the top of that skyscraper talking, and that reminded me so much of a Sam Raimi Spider-Man too, and I'm like, that's such a great moment. And the movie really is a well-made movie. I went and saw it in theaters by myself, and I was like, I just thought it was an amazing movie, and I was
my favorite scene in Across the Spider-Verse was Miles and his mom at his party. That scene was brilliant.
I do like the villain's pretty good in the movie, but he's not my favorite villain. But I think he's a good, he's a good villain. Jason Schwartzman's the Spot, and I'm a little curious to see what he does in the third movie. I'm a big fan of these movies, and I'm blown away by the footage I heard about, and I'm excited to see the movie. I can only get here. We do have a television show that's a spinoff to the movies, the Spider-Man Noir.
I want to point that out there. It's not part of the continuity to the Spider-Verse film. It's a different version of that character.
It's the same producers, same actors.
But they confirmed it's not canon to the movie. They already confirmed it a while back that this is not the same.
So why the hell were they even doing this? Okay, like the whole point.
And also, they can't call him Ben Park. They can't call him Peter Parker. They can't do that for the rights reason, so they have to name him a different character. So and they don't want this to be part of the continuity, but they still wanted to get Nick Cage to play it because he did a great job in that Into the Spider-Verse movie.
They should have made it then because it makes no sense now. Like it's just like, okay,
how would they not, dude? This audiences are not going to pay attention. They're not going to have. It's not like they're going to do their homework assignment and watch the first movie and then understand what's going on in this film. It's literally its own thing.
I was gonna do that was my plan, was to rewatch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Across, but then watch this.
Because you got to remember, this is under MGM and Prime, and Sony has the rights to that character. You got to remember that.
You do also know they sell the rights to a lot of stuff to make movies and television shows, like Netflix. They partner with Netflix to make that shitty Resident Evil show.
Yeah, but this is a different situation. But anyway, what did you think about this whole synopsis and the footage that they described for the Beyond the Spider-Verse? Are you more excited for this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. The next up I wanted to cover is the Spider-Man Brand New Day that they put out the official poster, the couple of posters that they posted on social media. I think that this is the better poster here. I think that this brought back a lot of nostalgia from the Raimi's version, and even some of the Andrew Garfield version from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But I thought that looks amazing. Seeing the lens of MJ, I thought that was a great visual shots. It looks so good. I want this on my wall so bad. It just gives us a little bit more confidence that we are definitely going to get a pure like a real Tom Holland Spider-Man movie than we ever had in the Homecoming trilogy, which all due respect to those movies, I enjoy them, especially No Way Home. It's definitely one of the best. There's another poster that they posted. I gotta get the Flying Ninjas. I thought that one looked dope that you saw in the last trailer. And they definitely showed a footage at the CinemaCon of Peter Parker talking with Ned and MJ at the whole like housewarming party. They showed an extended scenes in that movie, and I just felt like, yeah, that was fine. But other than that, that's just my thoughts on this poster. TJ, what did you think about this?
You said it perfectly. It gave me shades of Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Those close-ups of Spider-Man, the texture of his suit. I'm like, that's Spider-Man to me. The gold highlights in the background of New York, it felt like Sam Raimi. And that's my favorite Spider-Man. So to capture that with the new Tom Holland growing up now, finally a mature, more Spider-Man that's centered in the city, not so much a big universe. I'm really excited for this. A new director, so you have a fresh look. They're doing some practical stunts, which I think is going to be lights out. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, because they got a guy who directed Shang-Chi. And originally Marvel, what they attached him to direct the Avengers Kane Dynasty. Then you know how the whole shit works, happened to Jonathan Majors' career and how much they did not like the Kane character, and they switched it up. But he got an upgrade. It's like, hey, how about you direct a Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland? Holy shit. And judging from that trailer that they posted a few weeks ago, it just felt so different, and it felt like that now that we are getting to the Spider-Man movie that we've been waiting for a long time. Now that he's all on his own, everybody has forgotten him as Peter Parker. He looks like he has a lot of struggles. The suit was incredible, straight out of the comic book, and a little bit of the similarity to the Raimi's version and even the Andrew Garfield's version from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, because he literally took the idea of the suit when he met up with these variants of version of Spider-Man back in No Way Home, and he actually made the suit like hand made his suit himself. Yeah. And it's not made from a Stark tech. And I thought that was interesting. And we still don't know necessarily who the main villain is, really. I mean, yeah, there's the hand that the ninjas that he's fighting, the hand from the Marvel's Netflix Daredevil. And then you have the Scorpion character, which we met up with him in Spider-Man Homecoming in the mid-credits scene, which, fun fact, this is going to be almost the 10th anniversary for Tom Holland's first appearance as Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. That long. That's insane. By the time this movie comes out, it'd be like 9 years, like when he made his first Spider-Man movie in Spider-Man Homecoming, 9 years later. And this feels like a brand new chapter in Peter's life. It feels like we're watching like a different type of Spider-Man movie from that differentiates the John Watts' version of Spider-Man. But I wanted to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about these two posters that they posted online?
The one poster where like you see MJ in the eyepiece, I thought that was great. Like I really really liked that poster quite a bit. Everything about this brand new day movie just makes me very happy. So yeah, you're getting no complaints from me. That one is also epic as well.
I completely agree. Jake, what did you think? If you're still here,
I'm still here. I was just, I'm sorry, I'm reading.
I thought you were gone for a second.
No, I'm still here. TJ's back. TJ was gone. So
hold on, let me get it.
I'm gonna say, I think really the thing I really like about this is I like the poster. I like the eye poster. Anytime there's a poster where you see his eye, that's really cool. I remember the Spider-Man video game where you had like Spider-Man's eye and the Green Goblin was on the side. I think it's something like that is really cool. And I like an Amazing Spider-Man 2. You had Electro in his eye, and then you had this.
Then
one.
you had,
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, but then you had like Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock in the eye as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a big fan of the Spider-Man eye posters. I mean, I know people love the Ninja poster, but I mean, I'm a big fan of the eye poster. Okay, so
same.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, TJ? Can you hear us? TJ?
Nobody.
TJ, can you hear me?
TJ, are you okay? Clearly not.
Having
He
technical
wasn't a big
issues
fan of the
again.
posters. He wasn't a big fan of the posters. I take it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this: I'm a big fan of the. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of the posters. I'm a big fan more of the eye poster because I love that, and I'm really excited. I know that John Watts was not a big fan of the web swinging and everything, and he didn't like it to be like he liked the more fantastical elements, and I'm really excited to see what Shang-Chi. I mean, what's his name does. Daniel Dustin Craig does. So I'm excited.
Yep. Anyway, what did you think about this Spider-Man poster? Did it increase your excitement level? Can you not wait to see this in theaters and you can't get here fast enough? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, for the last of the Sony panel, I wanted to cover the Jumanji 3, and they got the official title called Open World. Let me screen. All right. Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black are dispensing with all the levels. Sony Pictures unveiled a first look at Jumanji Open World, a long gestating latest entry in the action comedy franchise at CinemaCon on Monday as part of the presentation to theater owners. Once again, our heroes find that the boundaries between a fantastical game and the real world have blurred. This time, the three leading actors will play three different characters. Johnson's Dr. Bravestone, for instance, is Spanish. He pronounces charisma like the guy from the Dos Equis ads, while Hart and Black's character are stuck in demo mode and still working out a few kinks. Hopefully, they adapt quickly because the trailer that Sony shared included plenty of scenes of jungle beasts ramping through a pastoral New England town. Yeah, I will say that it's been a long time since we've had the last film of the Jumanji movie. I mean, I enjoyed the sequels of that movie. I don't think it's as good as the original because I'm someone who's a big fan of the Robin Williams as the original the Jumanji movie. I thought it was still a masterpiece. I mean, at first I was so on the fence when they said that they were going to do another one. When I saw that trailer, I'm like, wow, they're going to water down a generic action flick with Dwayne Johnson and the rest of the cast, and it just doesn't look that good. But then when I saw that movie, I really enjoyed it. I surprisingly had
I don't know what you're saying, buddy. Fuck you. Fuck me.
Dude, does it just suck being you?
I will turn this car around.
but like I like those movies, and I feel like it was kind of odd that they made us wait that long for the third film because they set that up like they're going to bring these Avatar characters, real characters from the video game, and bringing them into the real world. Seems like that they're trying to get us back into why the original Jumanji worked so well. And I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I don't even know if they've wrapped production yet. I think they're still in shooting, and they just showed a little bit of the footage of the movie.
Well, they wrapped production. Yeah, they're done. What happened?
Yeah.
They just are in post production and everything, and they only showed people like they said it's unfinished footage. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense because they haven't finished it. They're still in post production, and I'm just excited to see the game come back together and seeing how they would act to see the real life characters and not the kids who are portraying the game characters from the game version. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think?
I like both of the modern Jumanji movies fine. I don't love them, but I like them. They have a lot of people in them that I genuinely like, and they're both a lot of fun. So with this, it seems like they're finally kind of bringing it full circle and finally bringing it back to what the original one was, with Robin Williams and Bonnie Hunt and a very young Kirsten Dunst. Like, what year is it? So that'll be very interesting to see. But I'd like to see some footage of it.
So did they bring Kirsten Dunst out on stage?
No.
Oh, okay.
So my optimism is reserved.
TJ, what did you think?
Those last two movies, surprised me how funny they were. I mean, Kevin Hart, The Rock have great chemistry. the whole cast in general just has a nice mix and of action, adventure, comedy. And I guess in this third one, The Rock's supposed to have a Spanish voiceover. So man, that's going to be absolutely.
I'm curious of
hilarious.
how he's going to speak in that Spanish accent. We never seen him do anything like that before. And seeing this in the movie, I'm curious to see how he does it. It feels
like
to be funny.
Beetlejuice. Remember how he's trying to tell his story in a Spanish accent?
Yeah.
It might be a voiceover the whole time.
They might dub it. They might dub that over. But if it's not dub over, this will be fucking priceless on Dwayne Johnson.
If it's fluent Spanish, they need a voiceover.
If he can do Spanish, like, let's go.
But with that said, going back to the original, the Avatar coming to the real world, whatnot, I think that's the only place you can go now, and it'll give a nice full circle moment to the whole franchise. People only think of 2 films, but it's actually been 3 films. This is actually part 4 when you really think about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's more of the culmination of these last 3 movies to me. That's what it felt like. They even brought that one character back from the first movie at the end of the. Yeah, the ant. They brought her character back from the movie, and it's bringing a little bit of nostalgia. So it looks like they're going to try to culminate this whole thing.
There
so
might
anyway,
be another character that's in the original Jumanji that might be in this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. What did you think, Jake? What about? Are you excited for this 4th movie?
I love Welcome to the Jungle. I never liked when I was a kid the original one with Robin Williams. I always thought that was like not my favorite Robin Williams movie. I just never liked it because I just felt like. Yeah, it just comes off like it's trying to be a depressing movie, and then like all these parents die, and then all of a sudden, like the other one felt fun. The second one with The Rock felt fun, and I'm a big fan of the Welcome to the Jungle. I don't like the Next Level as much because I just felt like they made it because look, we made a sequel. So
I got one question. I got one question for you, Jake. When was the last time you saw the original film?
I saw the original film back in 2018 when the first movie Jumanji with The Rock.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's still like it's just look. I don't hate the movie, and like I do like the nods, like the villain that's supposed to be in the original Jumanji. What's his name? I think for Van Patten is like a reincarnation in the video game played by Bobby Cannavale, and that's pretty cool. And I just don't really like the second movie, the second one, Next Level, and I don't like the original. But I am curious to see how, because I heard in the third movie we might see some familiar faces. Obviously, we won't be seeing.
Personally, for me, the reason why I really love the original one so much because you're having a board game that you're spawning these characters, even the animals coming into the real world, and they have to finish the game. Otherwise, it's going to cause a lot of chaos, and it added the stakes and it added the tension, and it was so good, and I loved it. And Robin Williams was amazing. It was more grounded. It was scary. It was terrifying. And the way that Robin Williams described when he was trapped in the Jumanji for 27 years, it was terrifying for him. It was a fucking horror movie. It was more of a horror movie from a children's film. And then when you with all due respect for the Dwayne Johnson for the Jumanji sequels, I enjoyed them. I was very highly entertained, but it just wasn't as terrifying as what they described in the Jumanji world. The main villain was just an NPC, completely forgettable, very one note that you're not going to remember. At least the main villain from the original film was more memorable, and it added more layers.
That's you didn't like the second one? You didn't like seeing the villain in the second one played by the Hound from Game of Thrones, where he murders the Rock's father, and it turns out it's just the Rock in an Italian mustache going, no.
No, he was. I liked him as an actor, and I loved him in Game of Thrones, but he was a very forgettable character. I barely remember.
The funniest scene is still that movie.
It was fun. No, the dick joke was very funny. I laughed hysterically. I would not lie. I'd be lying to you if I didn't. That was pretty funny.
And we know you like a good dick joke, Matt.
You love that too. Don't lie, Jake.
Nope, nope.
That's called denial.
You know what?
It's not just a river in.
What were you saying, Ryan?
I was saying denial is not just a river in Egypt.
And I'm like, you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go.
Anyway, what did you think about this? The fourth movie of Jumanji. Are you excited for this one? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, away from the Sony panel, I wanted to cover this for the Disney panel. For the first up will be the Mandalorian Grogu trailer that dropped yesterday, and they showed a 17-minute footage of the movie at CinemaCon exclusively. And the tickets are now on sale. I just booked up. Me and my brother just booked them, and we're gonna go see it when it comes out in theaters. And I'm a little cautiously optimistic, even though I'm not that excited for the Mandalorian Grogu, but I'm still gonna watch it because I'm a Star Wars fan. But here's the footage that they were describing for the 17-minute footage. The footage opens up with Mando infiltrating a secret meeting of Empire sympathizers and blow up a massive AT-AT walkers on a snowy planet. The bounty hunter stabbed, and flamethrower his way through the base full of stormtroopers, with Grogu helping along the way. Grogu destroys a droid with the Force as the team steals a AT-ST and flees down snowy cliffs, dodging AT-ATs before Mando takes one down and shoots an escaping Empire leader out of the sky. Back at the New Republic base, Weaver's Ward scolds them for losing intel, but sends them on their next mission, rescue Rada the Hutt. This to me, it sounded really cool because I do remember that they showed a glimpse of the footage of the one-shot sequences of Mando mowing down the stormtroopers in a hallway. Because you already know that Star Wars right now these days, they love a famous hallway scene. They did that with Maul in the Clone Wars. They did that with the Mandalorian show. They even done a hallway sequence in the new series, Maul Shadow Lord, in the first 2 episodes. And I thought those were pretty dope. They
should just call it Star Wars hallway.
The one that really started, not that started the whole trend, but for Star Wars to keep doing similar sequential hallway scene was in Rogue One, the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One in the hallway. That's what really started that whole thing. I mean, the hallway scene has been done many times before with the Raid, Daredevil, the Netflix Daredevil show had done the same thing too. And from what some people described, like John Campion and Robert Meyer Burnett talked about this, like even John was very on the fence with the show. And he was saying like, oh, is this going to feel like they shot this as a Disney Plus show? And he saw the 17-minute footage. And from what he said, that this feels like you're watching a movie.
No,
and his words, not mine.
This is what he said.
What? Oh my God. Like,
I bet that's what he said. I bet that's what he thought. And I will say that the final trailer was the best trailer out of the 3. And for me personally, I love the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. I think that they're one of the best Star Wars shows, and that's what. And when that first season came on, it really brought the fandom together. Even after that whole fallout of the whole Last Jedi being very divisive, and this was the first launch of the Disney Plus show, and the ratings were skyrocketed. Season 2 even skyrocketed even more when Luke Skywalker showed up in that scene in the finale of season 2. But I will say, the season 3 was a big letdown. And I'm like, why they decided that they want to make this as a feature film? It makes no sense to me. This is literally a continuation of the Disney Plus show. Even the trailers just showed that to us. But I'm gonna still be cautiously optimistic and hope for the best, and hopefully that this is a great Star Wars movie, and that this doesn't have to require a homework assignment for people who have never watched the show, because you got to introduce some casual audiences, because not everybody has watched the series before and they're going in completely blind. But
it's like the X-Files movie, okay? It's gonna be a continuation, so you're probably gonna have to watch the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think John said like, yeah, they kind of summed it up better in the opening of the movie when they show the first 17 minutes of the footage. I mean, I don't know exactly that that's true, but that's kind of what he brought up in his video. But anyway, I want to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about the footage that they described? And have you seen the final trailer? What did you think? Are you more excited for this?
You all remember in The Dark Knight when Joker burned that big old pile of money? You could pay me that entire big old pile of money, and you could still not make me care about the Mandalorian and Grogu. I yield to TJ now.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
Watch this movie bomb, and my comment is going to age like fine wine.
Now, I will agree. I just don't see this movie being a big bank, but I've seen some of the seats getting filled up for the opening night for the ticket sales. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to make $1 billion. It's not. But if the critics' reception is really great and it blows their minds, and it might make around at least 700 million if they're lucky. But my prediction, it will probably make it at least around 500 million. But I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong about this. TJ, what did you think?
It doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. The fonts, everything just feels off-put. But that last trailer was the best thing I've seen so far. And when I heard John Campea said they watched the first 17 minutes of the film, they're playing the Mandalorian theme. I'm like, okay, because I love that theme. May 22nd, I'll be there. You know, I've seen every single Star Wars movie in theaters since I was a kid. I'm curious. I don't feel that great about it, but I am curious. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that little puppet running around still being an idiot, it just gets on my nerve, but we'll see what happens.
Jake, what did you think?
Well, May 22nd is near and dear to me since for 30 years, May 22nd has been an important day for me. Because that is my birthday. So
damn.
I will literally, there's two, by the way, that's the second Star Wars, that's the second Lucas film.
I want to bring up, I think that's the reason why you're so excited and optimistic, because it's on your birthday and you think you're going to get lucky for this.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out May 22nd. I still have a cardboard cutout of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on May. It says May 22nd, 2008.
Nice.
And I'm like,
nice.
So I'm excited for like that because of that reason. Because I'm like, hey, it comes out on my birthday, so I know what I'm doing on my birthday. But I like The Mandalorian. The first 2 seasons are great. Look, I don't love the Book of Boba Fett, but I do like the Mandalorian episodes, which that's I think most people say the best episodes of that show.
They mostly hijacked that show, and you completely forgot you're watching a Boba Fett show.
Well, they had to because of what happened behind.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to know. Because if you're someone who is new to the Mandalorian, if the only thing is watch the first 2 seasons, then watch at least the last 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. Don't even worry about the other episodes that they're not very relevant to Mando and Grogu. Then watch season 3, then leading up to the Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Yeah. Which, I mean, by the way, I think, honestly, hardcore Star Wars fans are going to see this movie, okay?
Yeah.
Hardcore Star Wars
fans.
Of
course they are. But also, you got to target the casual audiences who are non-fans. They're the ones that are making...
X-Files Fight the Future. What about that movie? That movie had, X-Files fans and casuals went and saw that movie. And people that didn't even watch the X-Files went and saw that movie. But also, they didn't even watch the sequel, and that movie tanked the sequel. What about Lizzie McGuire movie?
It did fine. It did well.
Yeah, they were going to make a sequel until
they were. Yeah, they were going to make a sequel. You're right about that. Even Hannah Montana movie made a lot of money of that.
So
movie.
yeah, people watch TV movies, okay? Like just because.
But there was another TV movie that they were doing a follow up from the HBO show Entourage, and that movie tanked. That was one of the examples.
Okay, well that's because Entourage. That should have been straight to HBO Max, okay? Because
well, no, you mean in the HBO, and because HBO Max didn't exist at the time.
I mean HBO. I'm sorry, HBO. Also, Entourage, the seasons were starting to dip like in ratings, and so I don't understand why they thought, a couple years later, 3 years later, we should make a movie. I'm like,
did that movie came out like I think it was like 2015 or 16? I can't remember.
2013.
No, I don't know. It was no, it was not. It was definitely not 2013. I remember that. I remember going to see that in theaters too, because I watched. Because here's the thing, I watched all the episodes, binge watched the entire series before going into the movie, and yeah, I thought it was like it should have been on HBO. It did not need to be made into a movie.
And also, it contradicts the final season.
Yeah, and also it's it came out in 2015. Okay. This was like 11 years ago.
Yeah, like ironically, the show ended in 2011, and then like in 2015, 5 years later, it comes out in the movie. And I think honestly, you need to have like distance, okay? Because you want people to be excited. And I think the last season of what was it, 2014 or 2023? Wasn't that the last season of Mandalorian?
No. It was
2023. It has to be.
It was around 2020. It was like 2022 or something, or 2023. It might have been 2023.
24, 25. So 3 years ago, that's when. Is when the show. So I love the Mandalorian. I love Pedro Pascal. I am one of those people who I think I own a Mr. Fantastic Pedro Pascal action figure. I'm a huge fan of Pedro Pascal. He can do no wrong, in my opinion. Most of the time, be announced as Batman. Okay, just to piss me off.
Most of the time in this movie, most of the time it's not even really him in that outfit. I mean, it was a stunt double, and it was just, all he did was use ADR work. The only time that you're going to see him,
He's in this new movie though. He's unmasked.
Let me finish. The most time when he has his helmet on, it's a body double. It's a stunt double, and he does his ADR work. But the only time you're going to see him in the movie with Pedro Pascal is when he has his helmet off.
Yep.
When he takes his helmet off, that's the only time they use actually in these scenes in the film.
Which I guarantee this if it doesn't do well in theaters, it's going to kill on Disney Plus when it hits Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, and also they announced that they're going to do season 4 after this movie. That's the worst logic decisions ever. Makes no sense.
When you end the show, the movies usually like Battlestar Galactica, and so did Dukes of Hazzard. When your show ends, you make the movie your final episode, or like Gilligan's Island. Take that they made the final episode was the movie.
Wait, did they do that the Dukes of Hazzard movie for the continuation of the show? I don't think they.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they did. They did right before the Johnny Knoxville movie came out.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And they even do that with the Star Trek series. They ended the original series and they did it multiple movies, which they did good at the box office. It wasn't big, but it did well. And you got the Next Generation that ended that show's run, and then they did a movie. That's your only good logic, is make your movie as your final episode, not the other way around. Because then it's just like, oh, then why should I bother to pay like $23 to see this in the theater?
So did Hannah Montana. X-Files and Hannah Montana.
Yeah,
did that.
Hannah Montana, the movie was literally the final episode.
And also the Simpsons movie. What about the Simpsons movie?
Well, the Simpsons movie, you don't have to do your homework assignment on that. It's a spoof. It's a fucking. It's nothing. There's no story. There's no chronological.
Well, actually,
that show went on for like over 30 years. And those characters don't even age at all, so I don't think that's the issue. They could do whatever they want. You can go in blind for that movie.
All right, let's go to
anyway, what did you think about this final trailer for The Mandalorian Grogu, and what did you think about the footage that they described? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, and I'm gonna have to discuss with
Doomsday.
Yeah, we're doing Doomsday. That's something we have to cover, that one the most. I'm gonna cut this one short because we're going a little bit over time. We're going way over time. I want to cover an Avengers Doomsday trailer that they dropped at CinemaCon, and I feel like that this is something we got to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, so from what they described for this trailer that they dropped at CinemaCon, the Russo brothers tease that Victor Von Doom is one of the most complex villains. He's always 3 moves ahead, which makes his virtually unbeatable. To quote, something's coming. A voiceover begins. We see a flash of light, then and it cuts to the first look at Robert Downey Jr. in the silver mask as Dr. Doom. There's a quick flashes of Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic, Sebastian Stan's Bucky, Florence Pugh's Yelena, Chris Hemsworth's Thor, Letitia Wright's Shuri, Channing Tatum's Gambit, Patrick Stewart's Professor X, James Marsden's Cyclops, Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn's Johnny Storm, Tanakh as Namor, and more. They past Avengers died facing enemies and threats. Everything they've sacrificed will be for nothing if we don't stand together, Hemsworth Thor says. Thor tries to use his Stormbreaker against Doom, and Doom holds his iron fist and easily stops him. And from what John Campbell described, he stopped him with 2 fingers. How fucking crazy is that? And to quote, "We are going to need a miracle," Thor says. Then cut to a voice saying, "Hey pal, it's Chris Evans and Steve Rogers. It's not possible. It's not possible." Chris Hemsworth Thor responds as Rogers takes Thor's Mjolnir. And they do this. The footage that they're describing for the trailer, I'm so fucking on board. This is probably gonna be a next level Infinity War. And they described in the trailer with him stealing, with Steve Rogers stealing the Mjolnir from Thor. He has the same look from Infinity War. He has the long hair and the fucking beard. Him teaming up to fight Dr. Doom, and this Dr. Doom is going to be more straight out of the comic books. I've seen the first look at Dr. Doom of the photo that they put out at CinemaCon. It looks pretty much what you expected, and they're not messing around with Robert Downey Jr.'s
So
Dr.
it doesn't
Doom.
look so it looks really good as the one from Fantastic Four 2015.
No, but better, but far better. It looks like an armor. The mask looks incredible. The green hood. He looks menacing, and you won't even recognize him as Robert Downey Jr. And they said in the opening of his narration, you're not going to recognize Robert Downey Jr.'s voice. He's using that different language, speaking a different accent, and you're not going to recognize his voice in that trailer.
He sounds like Kirk Lazarus from Tropic Thunder.
No.
Let me tell you something, boy. He said, I'm going to tell you, I'm Dr. Doom over here. I'm just like, whoa. They said that. I was not expecting Doctor to sound like that. It's like, he said, that was a choice. And then all of a sudden, Anthony Mackie's like, is he trying to sound black right now?
And also, there's a footage, and they said that there's the footage of shot in the trailer with Shang-Chi fighting against Gambit, Channing Tatum's Gambit. Oh my God. I cannot wait to see that shit in context. That's going to be fucking insane. And you see Thor squaring off against Doom, like hovering down with the lightning with the Stormbreaker, like thrusting down, and fucking Dr. Doom just stops him with 2 fingers. 2 fingers, not his fist, not his palm, 2 fucking fingers, showing you how powerful he is. They're saying that he's probably going to be the most unbeatable opponent since Thanos in Infinity War. That's just going to be out. Like, they're really showing you a great fan service. And now there's another shot of Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier looking out the window and seeing 2 worlds colliding in incursion. And you're going to see Cyclops doing cool things, and you're going to see Rebecca Remains as Mystique transforming as Yelena and fighting against the real Yelena in the shot of the trailer. So anyway, I'm going to pass it on to Ryan. What did you think about the description of the trailer that they described at CinemaCon? This really get your blood pumping?
Yeah, it does in bursts. I need to see the actual trailer for it for my taste personally, but if it's being stopped by 2 fingers, I'm like, okay, you have my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's a official look at Dr. Doom that they posted for at CinemaCon. I wanted to bring that up. I mean, it is similar from the leaked version, but it's much more updated and it's more improvement. Yeah, that's the look that you're going to see Dr. Doom in the movie.
That looks cool. That looks like something I would definitely buy the 10-inch figure for that.
Mm-hmm. I love that design. It looks amazing. I cannot wait. I mean, I still wish they would have dropped the trailer online soon. But here's the thing: they need to drop this soon because people are already leaking this shit online on social media right now. I'm not even messing. I only saw a little bit of it, and I try to turn it off, and I turn it off because I don't want to see all of the whole footage because I want to watch. I want to do my trailer reaction to it and just be completely blown away and seeing it in context.
Matt's got a hard on for Doom.
Anyway, what did you think? Anyway, TJ, what did you think of this?
I had a hard time getting excited about the whole premise of Robert Downey Jr. coming back playing a different character until I heard the description of this trailer. Maybe we'll never see Robert Downey Jr.'s face as he normally looks. Maybe he's playing a whole different character and might look totally different when he takes off the mask. Because the plot points, I'm trying to quantify in my head how it's going to work, and that's my own issue. But this trailer sounds incredible. It sounds like it'll be the best of everybody's hits. You know, Dr. Doom, Thor, Gambit, you know, Shang-Chi. Then you got Mystique, one of my favorite female villains. You know, it's going to have all the best hits. And hopefully everybody has enough screen time where we're satisfied. The older gentlemen, they're going to go out. You know, Professor X, Magneto, this is it. You know, Cyclops Redemption. Captain America is back. You know, how's it all going to work? I trust the Russo brothers. Hopefully the script matches the action. Because good action without a good script doesn't mean shit to me. It's just eye candy. But hopefully it has a lot of heart, and I think it will. I think some people that we love are going to die. So, but this trailer description for the first time got me super excited. Then they announced they're not going to move the date. They're staying on the same date. So, Doom.
They said at the end of CinemaCon, this is going to come out in December. They're sticking
why make
their
$2
date.
billion when you can make about $1
I've literally been telling Jake a million times, and he kept fighting me on it. Like, no, they are not going to fucking move the date. They're sticking to that Doomsday.
A week ahead of time since
Jumanji. Well, no one's going to move. Doom Part 3 is never going to get moved. They're fucking locked into it. There's no way in hell they're going to
maybe Doomsday was to get the IMAX for at least 1 week, but they said, you know what?
we're gonna
We're
create
doing this
our
for the
own
fans.
IMAX.
It sounds like, Doomsday, or
Insta,
it's going to be a real
They
thing.
even said that they're creating their own different premium theater section too, very soon. That
Yeah.
what was it? What was it called? That company?
Infinity Vision.
Infinity Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. They're
Which basically,
basically
it's the exact same
yeah,
thing as
it's
IMAX,
literally basically
just
similar. It's basically similar to IMAX.
Oh,
It's basically
okay.
going to be their version of IMAX.
Yeah, I heard about it for the first time.
It's like, I can't
we were
believe it's
talking
not
about
better.
it. So, this is what. Hey, man, it's going to be a great Christmas, right? All these movies coming
Yeah,
out.
Harry Potter.
I don't care. Sue me. Well, here's the thing. The Harry Potter, they're just dropping the first episode on HBO Max. So that's like a week after those two movies are going to come out in theaters. So
Everybody's just going to be laying. All the fans are just going to be laying there.
you're going to watch a 1 hour episode. You're going to watch a 1 hour premiere episode out of both of them are basically a 3 hour movies. So anyway, Jake, what did you think about the description of the trailer that they described?
It didn't excite me when I first heard it. But then again, the context and seeing it, because I was like, I was expecting like a big thing, like, okay, Doctor Doom shows up, and then when you saw the Infinity War teaser, you saw Thanos come through that portal, you saw Spider-Man, all these, they're getting ready and everything, and then you see the big battle in Wakanda, and then at the end you see like all the Avengers running, and then it says Infinity War, and you see the Guardians of the Galaxy. I was expecting it to be like Doctor Doom. I mean, again, this is Comic-Con footage. We might not see the real trailer for a month, and that might be a completely different trailer.
You mean CinemaCon footage? No, but this was not a footage. This was a trailer. They put out the trailer for this. They showed it, then the trailer twice.
Yeah, but a lot of times they show, like, they might show, this might be for Comic-Con, but the official trailer might be different. Because I know Guardians of the Galaxy, they had a trailer.
Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
So, I mean, this could probably be like a different trailer we get that might be like, okay, this is for the main eyes, this is just for the
or they might just be the same trailer, except it's just more improvement effects, visual effects shots.
I wanted to see like Doctor Doom, like,
because they kind of did that with Infinity War. They did the same thing with in Infinity War when they showed the same footage, except for one shot of Thanos like summoning of like the moon, throwing the moon at fucking Iron Man in that footage, like on Titan. They didn't show that at the end of that trailer.
I just want to see, like, I mean, it would be cool at the end of the teaser if they just showed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
But they even went from the trailer, they did not show Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's not in the trailer.
And which they said they did so, but they did show the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, which I'm excited for.
They show the main hitters. They show the big hitters that are going to be in the main.
I'm excited. I'm just ready to this is what I feel like right now, waiting for this movie. This is what I feel like right now.
What? Oh my God! Like,
that's how I feel waiting for this movie. I'm like, give it to me now.
This is good. This is going to be me. My reaction when I watch the trailer in context.
in my pants.
There's gonna be a lot of come gone from men that day. There's just.
I do have a feeling that you're not going to see Doom's face throughout that whole movie. By the time you get to the third climax of the whole them duking it out, you're going to see his max shattered, and you're going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face, and that's going to take because I bet the whole characters are not going to know what he looks like under that mask.
Ryan, make sure you wear Timberland boots that day. There will be more than popcorn butter on the floor with these guys.
Oh God! Oh,
be careful.
Be like, oh God! Oh, this is Ryan.
Be careful, my friend.
We're gonna be like, oh, what?
The good news is it's like winter time.
It's gonna be like that scene in The Departed. It's gonna be like, remember that the scene in The Departed when he goes to the porno theater and Jack Nicholson's like,
yeah.
Oh, dirty. He goes, oh, he's like, what the fuck? And then that's what it's gonna be like watching Avengers.
What's the character's name? And Unbreakable, was it David Dunn?
Yeah.
Dress like him, you'll be safe.
Ryan's gonna be like, yeah. Ryan says, I'm just gonna wait till it's like, when the jerk off stops happening, the circle jerks and everything in the theaters. It's gonna be like the Minecraft situation, but worse. It's called stop masturbating when you watch Doomsday, and then everybody's gonna have to literally be like, if you pull your junk out like Pee Wee Herman, your ass is gone. Okay, people are trying to watch a movie, and you're just like, come on. He said, this is not that. This is not a sexual movie. It's like, we're just trying to see Iron Man and Doctor Doom and Captain Spider-Man. Okay, and all of a sudden it's like, But I'll say this, okay. He said, let it fly, just not in my eye. You know, that's
Okay,
all I'm saying.
that just sounded weird when you say it like that.
Because you know what? You're here to have a.
I wish I had that Steve Carell clip of "That's what she said."
We need to get that clip. But
yeah, I'll get that clip. I will.
I'm gonna be. That's what I feel like. Okay, when you watch this though, everybody's excited. This is what's gonna happen. Okay.
Get your spectral sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Mm-hmm. That's 100% true.
Everyone's excited to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom.
And also, I'm 100% going to be doing a double feature, Doom Part 3 and Doomsday. I don't care. I'll watch both these movies for 6 hours.
Doom's the one that's going to take the hit, though. Doom's the one that's going to take the hit.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, no, I totally agree.
I would move it up just a couple of days. You know,
I do agree that they should move it up, but I just don't. I think they really want to stick to the Doomsday trend. Especially when they're already making their own little premium theaters of their own, so that they make their version of IMAX, which it kind of makes sense because they had to make extra money for this one because Dune Part 3 already took over that premium theater for IMAX. But anyway, that's our thoughts on it. What did you guys think about this trailer footage? This trailer cannot get here fast enough? Are you more excited for now more than ever after hearing this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, I'm going to cut this one short because even though that we went way over time for 3 hours, and I'm sorry, especially with the technical problems, and I'm sorry I'm not the best at reading out loud and pronouncing these words and names.
In memoriam segment at least, you know, like we had this guy's been dead for 2 weeks. I mean, come on, you know.
Do we really need to cover that? It's way too old news.
This guy did Back to the Future. He deserves his flowers. Come on, I think. Would you guys want to be able to say goodbye to this man? He deserves it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, James Tolkan.
Hold on, let me get to that.
I say James Tolkan at least deserves it. Okay, I mean he was the principal in Back to the Future. You got to honor this man.
Well, oops, spill.
But the guy we're talking about in Memorial, James Tolkan died. He's the guy. If you ever see Back to the Future, he's the principal. The one that's like, I don't like slackers. You know, he's the one who died. 80, I think he was like 86 years old, or was he 82 years old?
Lived a long time. You know,
this guy literally
surprising.
He was in
the same year, Back to the Future. He was also in Top Gun the same year.
He was in Top Gun.
Was in.
Or like the two biggest blockbusters back to back. He was in both of them, Top Gun and what was it? Back
94.
To the Future.
I was wrong. 94.
Good guy.
Okay. He lived a very long life.
Big bucket of wind on that one.
No need to feel bad. He lived his life.
Yeah, he did.
Top Gun. He was in Glenn Ross. That's a good one. And then he was also in Back to the Future. You know what movie I most famously know him from was Problem Child too.
Dude, that's slackers. I always love when he says slacker, slacker in Back to the Future. He was one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah,
that's the principal.
He was 1931, which, by the way, if you've never seen Back to the Future Part 3, the deleted scene in Back to the Future Part 3, he plays like the grandfather, the great-grandfather of the principal, and he gets brutally murdered by Mad Dog in the movie. And Robert Zemeckis and Bob Geldof, they cut that scene because the whole movie's a fun movie, and it's a really depressing death.
I think, if I remember correctly, he was in another movie with Matthew Broderick called War Games.
Yes. That's a great film.
I mean,
it's such a fantastic movie.
He literally was such a nice guy. I've heard people say, like, which, you know, and everything, and it's really sad. But at the end of the day, 94 years old, 94. You know, TJ, what do you have to say about it?
I just remember every time he played a character, no matter how small or big the role was, he stood out. And that's great character acting. And he reminds me of just some of the best poignant points of movies of summers that I grew up watching. Back to the Future is one, and Top Gun. Those are the two I remember the most. And War Games. My uncle took me to see that and blew me away. That was a great callback.
What about you, Ryan?
Somewhere up in heaven, Mr. Tolkan is commissioning someone to fly plastic dog turds to Miramar.
He was also in Al Pacino's cop drama called Serpico that came out in '73.
Yeah, I never seen that.
Dude, I mean,
and he was also in the original 1979's The Amityville Horror.
What?
He played the coroner.
Ah.
Was he in Tombstone as well? Was he in Tombstone?
I don't think so. I don't think he was in Tombstone.
Tombstone.
No, I don't think he was in Tombstone.
I mean, hey, rest in peace, man. I mean, honestly, to live 94 years old, I wish I'm going to live to be 94. That would be amazing.
He's resting, trust me. He lived a good life.
I mean, 94, and also, like, I mean, he still was able to walk around and everything. I mean, 94, I mean, honestly, and and also, yeah, if you ever chance, go watch his movies. Okay, Top Gun, War Games, Back to the Future. I know that will be his legacy. I still will always remember him as the teacher in Problem Child 2, who plays the opposite of the principal, like how he's a no nonsense principal. The teacher was just a demasculated man who literally was in a midlife crisis, who was like, I hate, like, he teaches a class and the kids like just what he says, what is 2 + 2? And the other kids are like 18. And he's like, and then one kid goes, it's 4, you idiot. And then he goes, oh my God, someone, oh my God. And then he goes and grabs some books, and then the fat kid goes and bullies him. And then he duct tapes the fat kid to the chalkboard. And then when he comes in with some books, he's like,
hey Jake, describe the whole movie for us.
He's a really funny scene. You got to watch the movie. It's a funny movie. Child 2.
I always gonna remember him from Strickland from Back to the Future movies. I loved him in Top Gun. I loved him in War Games. I think he's a terrific actor. I haven't seen all of his movies. I haven't seen every single one of his movies, but for him to live long in his mid-90s, that's insane. Because most males don't live that long in their 90s. It's very rare. It's rare.
Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas. Yeah, you're totally right. Kirk Douglas lived around in his 90s.
Ian McKellen better live to be in his 90s.
He better. He's playing Magneto. He's in Doomsday, and he better survive through the hunt for Gollum, for fuck's sake. He better.
They're gonna bring him back. They're gonna bring him back again in his 90s to say, all right, one more time as Magneto. One more time as
one more time. Bill Mulbaggins.
He's gonna like come out and say, hello.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, but 86. I mean, 94 years old. Rest in peace, Mr. Tolkan.
Yep.
And that about wraps it up, right, Matt?
Yep. That about wraps it up, and we went over 3 hours. And sorry for the technical problems, and even me reading the articles out loud, pronouncing these words and names, I can't pronounce them all because I'm really terrible at it. So, but sorry, I apologize for that deeply. But I thought that this was definitely a blast talking about the CinemaCon panel. I mean, I wanted to get through a lot of them, but we got on for a little bit too long, and we didn't want to drag this out, so we had to cut this short, even though we went over 3 hours. But anyway, that's our thoughts for the CinemaCon. Let us know what you thought in the comment section below. If you like this, dude, really.
Ouchie!
Break it up, you two. It's too late.
Oh.
I warned you.
Anyway, give it a thumbs up on this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, support our channel. We really deeply appreciate it. It was great to have TJ Blacktastic on as a guest. I appreciate you coming on and geeking out with us and tolerate our bitching and moaning and roasting each other left and right. I'm glad that you enjoyed the entertainment value. But anyway, I want to say this. Jake, what do you got coming up on your channel?
You know what? I got me and TJ and Ryan are starting our own podcast called Cinephiles with the Movie Files. We're basically going to talk about all the movies Matt hates and all the stuff, and we're just gonna say, suck it, Matt. We're gonna say how Son of the Mask is a better movie than Street Fighter 2025.
Oh, buddy.
And that's what we're doing. No.
Read between the lines, Theo. Read between the lines.
Shut
yeah, you know what?
Go.
But I will say, I just dropped my review for The Dark Knight, and we're doing Talking Gotham this week, and then on top of that, next week we will be doing. I don't know if we're going to have that special guest that I booked yet, because we're waiting to see, because he just got back from CinemaCon, or it might be the following week. But if we don't, we'll have someone else next week, if so, or whatever. But we plan on doing a movie draft, summer movie fantasy movie draft league. So that's coming up on the channel and everything. So yeah, you can find me at 3D Movie Cinema, and that's all.
Ryan, what do you got coming up?
So on my channel, I'm doing a small little series reviewing all of the modern Mummy movies I've yet to cover. I dropped a one with Austin Pez Howell talking about The Mummy Returns,
And you didn't
The
invite
Mummy
me,
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
asshole.
No. Can I finish?
Yeah.
And then I also did The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. That dropped today, actually. And then, yeah, I'm going to be suffering. I suffered through the Tom Cruise movie again. So that review will be dropping very soon as well. And then the 96 Project episode will be dropping a little later on this week as well, talking Gotham as well. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming along.
Blacktastic, what do you got coming up?
Well, today I just dropped my trailer for my next film / documentary. Released it at midnight for GOAT status. It's a documentary on the rapper LL Cool J. And it goes into detail about his rise to fame as probably the first superstar rapper of all time. And that trailer dropped today. The movie drops on Juneteenth, June 19th of this year.
Awesome. So you can find my YouTube channel at MattWyatt92. You can check out my latest reviews for the drama in the Super Mario Galaxy. I dropped a couple of trailer reactions to The Mandalorian and Grogu and Street Fighter, so keep an eye open for that. And Ryan, Jake, and I are going to be continuing to do Talking Gotham. We're pretty much at the point where we're at the mid-season finale for season 4.
Yep. That will be at Watch Party Tuesday, by the way. Is that this Tuesday we're doing the Watch Party, or is that we got another episode before the Watch Party? Ryan, that's up to you.
No, it's the mid-season finale.
So Watch Party Tuesday. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching us bitch and moan and let us roast each other left and right. I'm glad you're sitting there being entertained by us. We hope you have a great day, great evening.
And I don't care.
I'm gonna tell you he can't.
And I will not be harassed, bitch.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of our content.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.